Let me call her. Let me call her. Let me see.
Snitch, man.
Yo. I'm gonna get it, bro. George, you know the coin. My bad. My bad.
This nigga is retarded, Joe.
I can get it, bro. Okay, go ahead, break.
Long range. Bink, 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 bink. Ain't no running, baby. Ain't no running.
Where's your what? Where'd you put it? Get off the fan. Where'd you put it? You threw your tablet.
She got mad. She's a real gamer. She's truly Master's cousin.
What's wrong with you?
You done playing around on the phone?
I wait for a mama to respond.
You just want to make sure we're in good shape.
Debbie, Judy, you know where your sister's tablet is at?
So let me tell you what Auntie Marsha used to always tell me. You ready?
No, I'm not. I'm not ready. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay.
But she doesn't know her tablet is at.
Foolishness. Foolishness is
I'll
bound.
let you know. You asked if I'm ready. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
I'm gonna just put it out there. Whenever you're ready to listen, it'll still be out there.
Wait. How you gonna ask me? Wait. How you gonna ask me and then just put it out there? So you didn't really care if I was ready.
I did.
So why are you gonna ask me? I'm not ready yet. I'll let you know.
Nigga said so you didn't really care if I was ready.
No, I did care.
I'm confused.
I don't think he does anymore. He's gonna throw that one out.
When I asked you, I cared.
Right. I'm not ready.
Okay. What do you want me to do with that information?
I'm not ready.
I said okay.
Not ready.
Foolishness.
I'm not ready.
Okay. I'm not asking you to listen.
So let me ask you a question. So when you give a test out of school and you ask the kids they're ready, if they're not ready,
they'll get a test today. What you want me to do?
I'm not ready.
That is a bad analogy.
Postpone the test because
don't ask if I'm ready.
Decided
don't ask if
you
I'm
didn't
ready.
want to prepare.
Don't ask if I'm ready. I'm
never
not
seen
ready.
a
I
teacher
didn't
do
study.
that.
Not
That's
ready.
crazy. That's a bad
If I show up,
point.
I show up to school Wednesday. He's not about to be like, y'all ready? Hey, yo, teach. I'm not ready for my test.
My point is,
that nigga's gonna be like, yo,
teachers
y'all gotta take
shouldn't ask you if you're ready. Don't ask me if I'm ready. And
I want to know if you're ready. But that doesn't change whether I'm gonna give my information or not.
You should ask. You said everything's black and white, right? Then you should ask.
It is black and white. I want to know if you're ready.
All right. That implies that if I'm not ready, we don't take the test.
No. That's your understanding of my question.
That's everybody's understanding. I bet you 28 students that say the same thing.
Are you ready? No?
Nope.
Who? Go.
I'm not ready. I can't go. Sorry. Can't go.
Have you ever raced before?
Nope.
You never raced before? You special gang. So let me tell you how race goes. Race goes.
I'm not ready.
Ready, set, go. You know everybody doesn't go at the same time.
Yeah, because they weren't ready.
Why did they say ready then? Why not just say go?
That's a great question.
So then 28 people
Maybe we
who
should
you
post it to the
think
group.
would answer that
Let's post
question
it to
your
the
way.
Let's
Well,
pose it to the group. Let's pose it to the group. Why do you think
To what
people?
group? What group you want to pose it to?
Our group.
It's so stupid.
Why
Go
do you
ahead.
think people? Why do you think people say they're ready, but then they're not ready, but then they have to go?
Hop already deleted you. He said that's a bad analogy. Next. Talk to Yoshi Scrub.
No, he just said bad. No, he didn't ask the question.
Okay. My bad. Would you like for me to answer it too or no?
No, I'm not ready. How are you gonna answer if I'm not ready?
No. You said you're going to ask the group. I am a part
Let
of the
me.
group.
Okay. New example. If we
Oh,
study,
shoot.
if we, if,
Change that quick, didn't you?
if we studying
Change that real
and
quick.
Devon
Yeah?
says we're not ready, that means we don't go, right?
If he's not ready, we don't go. If he's not ready,
There's a long pause there.
he said he's ready.
That's not what I said. It's not
But he
what
said
I
he's
asked.
ready.
I know. But if he says he's not ready, that means we don't go. See, same thing.
So if I say, all right, is everybody ready? And Yo says, I'm still playing the game. And I say, all right, I'm about to open up. You think Yo's going to stay in the game or you think he's going to get off?
Did he say he was ready or not?
If he says, I'm on the game.
But did he say he's ready or not? That's the caveat.
That's his response to my question. If I say, are you ready? And he says, I'm on the game.
But I didn't say I was on the
ready or
game.
he's not ready.
I didn't say I was on the game. You asked if I was ready. I said I'm not ready.
Does that mean he's ready or he's not ready? If he says he's on the game.
I don't know what that means. That means he's on the game. I don't know if he's ready. He could be ready and on the game.
You didn't take a nap today, did you?
I think you sleep and study at the same time. I don't know what we're capable of.
You didn't take a nap today? You didn't take a nap today, yeah?
I'm on quarantine. I can't go nowhere.
What does that have to do with anything? I asked you if you took a nap. You tell me you're on quarantine.
I'm on quarantine. Gotta stay up 14 days straight.
14 days.
I don't know if we should go tonight.
Yo, I need them pants you made though. Boy, we all just aside.
I don't know what pants you talk about.
I don't know whatever you posted. You posted something. I need it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You went long, Bucko.
Hey, yo.
You are in line.
You said you posted something.
I got a hot one, yo. For real. If you could help me with it, I got
So
you.
you don't remember that? You don't remember that? Oh, let me.
I said I don't know what you're talking about.
I said, hold on. I gotta change my thing back.
Yo, hey, boss, you ready?
You don't know what that is?
I'm ready.
I don't know what that is. What is that? That's a greater than sign. That's a greater than symbol. Looks like it's greater than. Was it less than and I'm just looking at it wrong?
You know the girls like sweats. I need those sweats.
Say it again. The girls like sweats?
Girls like sweats.
I don't know what that means.
It means girls like it.
This nigga wants sweats because the girls like them.
Oh,
This nigga, yo.
what?
I'd be more and more confused. It was going on every day.
Yo, you okay today, dude? I'm scared. I'm not sure we should go.
Girls like the sweat.
Maybe we postpone. Maybe you not ready. Maybe that's the situation. You did say you're not ready. Maybe you're not ready.
You're hiding under the. I don't even know why. I don't know why I still get surprised.
Hey, Scrub.
Look at this idiot
Are you
running.
still in the vehicle, Scrub? That was a yes to my question.
That was a clap. He used the clap one.
Heart. That means you love me. What are you trying to tell me? I asked you a yes or no question, and you tell me you love me.
No, he put a heart up. Yeah. He put a heart up.
That means I love you.
I think the do-rag on too tight.
I say I'm about to call Sony.
I asked you, are you in the car? And you tell me you love me. You're not in the car.
I'm in my skin.
Not in my skin.
And you
Yo,
said
dude,
you
all jokes aside, I need you
and
to
you
tell
said
James Harden to show up for camp. Be
and you
ready to
said
play.
you're the most serious one in this whole group, right?
I am. That was a serious answer.
That
I am
was
in
a
my skin.
serious answer.
I'm in my skin. Where else would I be?
Let me get back to the boss. Boss, you ready? So
Yeah.
you know dysfunctional, like the word dysfunctional, right? So the
Yeah.
other day, I don't even know what I was doing, but I saw it. It was like what you see as dysfunctional is really his functional. But I just want to put one word. Like I want to just put his functional. Does that
Are you
work?
asking
No,
me
no, no,
for
no,
the
no,
word?
no. No, 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 because you're not serious, and I'm not really ready to go there with you right now, because I don't know where your mind is, and I'm just not. I'm like in this mode, like designing mode, like designing mode is like he's serious, he's locked in, and you're not locked in because
Hey, yo, hot. Fine, I'm not talking to you. That's fine. Hey,
Yo.
yo, hot.
Yo.
Hey, so
so boss.
Yeah.
You like that? Eh? Yeah.
Our dysfunctional, his functional.
Our dysfunctional, his functional. But as
Are you trying to shorten the words or?
no. So I thought about it. People may see me and say he's dysfunctional, but that's fine. You see me as dysfunctional, but in reality, I'm his functional. So come up with a scheme for that. You
Got
come
you.
up with it, I got you. You don't come up with it, I don't know what to tell you.
I got you.
If I come up with it before you though, like again, I don't know what to tell you.
So I just got to be sure to come up with it before you do.
That's possible. It is possible.
Copy.
You want to give an input, sir? You can text it. I'll read it. I'm literate. He backed out.
Say you ill at it? What you say?
No, we're not talking to you because you're clearly not with it right now.
Why you being
I'm
like
wondering, so
wanna
you
hug?
won't answer whether I got the job or not, and that's fine.
that?
So I can't make a call.
And
But
these air hugs during
but
COVID. Air
but
hugs. Come on,
Crazy. Y'all
come
doing
on.
all this
Hey,
camping and
hey,
y'all niggas is still
hey,
losing.
that's what
hey,
you
come on,
do. That's
come
what you
on,
learn at work.
come
Is
on,
that what y'all doing at work? Air hugs.
come on, come on.
Just the dumb stuff
Bring it
you're doing
in.
in Southwest. Yeah.
Come on, bring it in. Come on.
Special.
Just try to make you feel better. Come on.
Hey, for real, I wanted to ask you a question.
Hey,
So,
come on. Hey, come on, bring it in.
my bad. I had to do the same thing I did with him. No.
Hey, what's that show, Yosh,
not
where the
many of
host
us.
mutes you
Not many of us can
and you
read
get the
lips.
and you get the
No.
you get
No. You get nothing.
what's that?
You get nothing. You get nothing.
I got no more points.
No.
Oh,
No.
y'all
No.
niggas. This is exactly. And the crazy part, y'all niggas is still losing. Y'all doing all
No.
this camping and y'all about to
Done?
lose.
I just want to know if you. There you go. Type it. There you go. Type it. If you type it, everybody can read it.
I don't got no more
At their
points.
leisure. At their leisure, everybody can type it. Now, I have a better question for you, much more serious. Now, the other day I was looking at, well, I wasn't looking at the news,
What's that show?
but my wife was looking at CNN, and I saw that what came across the screen said Southwest Airlines is furloughing a number of people. And I was like, wow, I hope my guy is good. Have you heard anything about that? You can nod. I can read nods. Can't hear. All right. Go ahead, get my body.
I'm muted. I couldn't hear you. I'm muted.
You muted. You can't hear.
Nope. When you muted, everything goes. Crazy, huh? Crazy.
Hey,
That's what I said.
Hop, you okay, Hop?
Yo.
You good, yo?
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts
On the Southwest joint?
Hey,
on tonight?
come on.
Just on tonight. What's your
Hey,
thoughts?
bring
so
it in.
far?
Hey, bring it
How are you
in.
feeling about this
Hey,
situation?
hey. Bring it in. Hey,
Yeah. This is what he learns at work. This is what he does.
come on. Hey, don't
You
be like that.
laughing.
Hey,
You laughing.
hey, don't be like that. Come
He's
on.
gotta be kidding
Just
me,
try
yo.
it.
You laughing.
Hey, you try it. I'll be serious. Come on, try it. Come on,
You
just try
try it, I'll be serious.
it. Come on, just try it. Hey, come on, bring it in.
Tell
Come on,
Scrub to
big guy.
try it. Tell
Hey,
Scrub to
yeah,
try
big
it.
guy. Hey, you. Come on, bring it
He
in.
must be talking to you,
James, what movie is that? Come on, big guy. Bring it in. Come on.
The Wedding Crashers.
Hey, come on, big guy. Hey,
Boo-boo.
is that Keita? Keita.
But you
Keita.
up to work.
Keita.
I don't know what you got going on. What you doing out in the streets?
Keita. Who's that? Keita or Princess? Who that?
He ain't talking to me because he bugging out right now.
Is that Keita? Keita.
What do you want, boo-boo?
Can you give your husband a hug on my behalf, please?
It's
Let
4:30.
me text her. I think I still got her number.
You okay?
Let me
Talk about it.
Let me see. Myers.
You say you've been out all day. You don't want to talk about it? Wow. You've been out for 6 hours.
I don't got a number.
Wow. That's strong.
Yo, can I talk to your wife?
I thought maybe you went to work.
Hey, can I talk to your wife?
Haida. Hey, Hop.
Yo,
Hop.
dude, can I talk to your wife?
Yo,
I think he wants to say what's up to Haida.
No.
I learned my lesson.
considering he said dude,
I said
dude, and that's
I ain't
how he
bothering
goes.
her no more. She don't want to talk to me, so she cut me off
That's
since she
good.
moved to Florida. So I'm not with it.
Hey, baby,
I'll wait till I see her in person again.
honey, Ezra said you cut him
No,
off.
don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. She probably rolling her eyes at you like, why he
Tried to hug
bothering?
to make you feel better. Hey, come on.
Why you talking to
she
you?
said-
You dumb
Come
hug
on.
stuff,
She said, how
yo.
did she
Bring it
do
in.
that?
Come on, big guy.
This man,
Come
yeah. Hey, yeah. Nobody, I'm about
If
to.
you try it, there you go. Go in private. It's okay. Hey, China. Hey there.
Where is he?
Right there, sitting
Hey, Jay.
down.
Hello,
How
hello,
did I
Miss.
do that?
Hello, Mrs. Mims. How are you doing today?
Sorry?
Hello, Mrs. Mims. How are you doing today?
Eli!
I say hello, Mrs.
Did
Mims.
that-
How
how
you
did I
doing
catch
today? And
you?
your response is Eli. Exactly. Exactly.
I saw it. He is saying hi to his godmother.
This is what I'm talking about. She still ain't talking.
How did I cut you off?
It's okay. It's okay.
How did I cut you off?
It's okay.
He needs a hug, Jahida. Jahida, he needs a hug.
My love is strong, so it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Keita!
Yo, stop talking to people in my house.
It's a virtue hug. It's a virtue
Tell
hug.
him. Virtual hugs. Tell him. Boop, virtual hug.
No. She's not doing this dumb stuff. She did this and hugged herself. Nobody does this. The heck is this? Is air? This is pilot wings or something. No, I mean nobody knows what this is. This is your talk. This is what y'all do at work.
Bring it in. Come on.
Bring it in. Nobody
Bring it in,
even
big guy.
understands that.
Hi.
You're good, Mrs. Mims. I don't have no qualms with you, ma'am. I'll just wait for the one day that we ever get to meet one another again, and then it'll be that.
That's my sister.
That's your sister.
He's talking to Godmommy, midget.
What's up? What's
What are
up,
you
sir?
talking about?
What? Eli?
I did not forget about you. I don't.
He's talking about his sister. Eli's talking about
Hey,
his.
Eli. I don't see you. Right here.
Hold on. Probably because I disconnected.
You were on at first. You good, boss.
It's good now?
We see you.
You got to change the way he's screening. He may only see like 2 people in his screen.
Waving hi. You say hi, got mommy?
Yo, dude.
What do you want?
Daddy, mommy, need
Can't
you.
touch
You're
your
in
wife,
another
please.
planet.
Mommy need me?
Yeah.
You're in another planet right now, and I don't
Can't touch
understand.
your wife, please.
What you want to talk to my wife for?
It's between me and her.
Call her. Call her.
I tried. I don't got a number. I thought I had it.
Well, then she must not want to talk to you. If you don't have a number, then she clearly don't want to talk to you.
Stand up and do a hat thing.
She likes talking. So if you don't got a number, she really don't want to talk to you.
Thought I had it.
That's her thing. She talk. Hey, hit up on Facebook. She's on Facebook. You got a TikTok account? She's on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't got TikTok. That's what the joke is.
She's not on IG, so you can't hit her up. So she's on Instagram. She doesn't post anything though. So
We like play with our toys and all
I
kinds
got
of
too many
stuff.
contacts in here. I need to delete some of these.
what's up, Eli?
Always
Hi, baby.
play PJ Masks because they got new episodes.
What got a new episode?
You PJ Masks.
I don't know the last time you
The new episode is when a moth turns into a Masuki, and then
Oh, you talk about anime?
Masuki, and then they have friendship. Then they
That's-
go to the moon, and then make a fortress, and then they live inside the fortress.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
This kid watches everything from PJ Masks to these kids that be building huts in the forest to learning about science and animals and dinosaurs. So he's probably talking about a mixture of things. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
And
Doesn't
glitch
think.
text. And glitch text.
Whatever that is.
It's people who have gauntlets and glitches and save the day.
That's one of the fucking two.
We don't have to watch glitch text and out glitch text. Those are 2-player glitches. That's the glitch text.
I know them. I have no idea.
You didn't even eat it.
The glitch text.
You show me, but
Come on, Sissy. Why to go glitch text?
So watch out.
This is glitch text. That's a 2-player glitch, and that's a glitch text. This is Cucamelon.
Okay.
Cucamelon.
L-A-T-O.
It's Cucamelon.
Latana?
hey,
L-A-D-A. Latanda.
What's she calling? The
Yeah,
house
who's
phone
that?
or?
How you pronounce
what type of question is that?
Daddy.
it? No,
It just comes up my too.
Oh.
624-7062. 917.
Watch out.
Well, baby.
Excuse me. All right, fellas, I'm ready. If somebody want to open up, awesome. If not, I will alone.
That's fine. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come before you right now, just thanking you for allowing us to come together another day to dive into your word, to study, to learn more of you, to bounce ideas off of each other, and to hear from you, your Rhema word. We ask that you would have your way within this session. You take complete control of our spirits as you already have. Minister us individually and have your way and minister to us collectively. We thank you in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Oh.
Set this up
Move.
since we're starting.
Thank you.
I know it's this small.
Baby, you pick that up and go.
And so let me go see. Open my notes. Got to get my hefty defties out, man. Starting with 19. My first point is learn from the experience. You know, it's one thing to learn from my mistakes. When I fall short and or mess up and can see it, I am inclined to learn from that mishap and correct my ways and get back on track. This is all good. It makes perfect sense. However, reading the very beginning of this chapter, I learned and or realized that I have to learn to not only learn from my mistakes, but even to learn from the experience. See, if we as Bob are walking on a journey and I find myself veered off track because the temperature on our path heated up, then I can learn that I need to remain focused regardless of outward conditions. Yet something we as a people do is when it don't involve us directly, we lose sight of the ability to learn. So if we're walking and Hop gets distracted and veers off because a dog attacks, then I need to be mindful enough to learn that even if an animal is attacking in its own way, this cannot be a tool used against me either. All this to get to the point of learning from the experience. So, as we discussed last week, how the woman was preparing for death, then received life, but never got over the frightening thoughts of death. And so, when death came, she was looking to find blame rather than seeking a solution. Well, here we go at the very start of this chapter, and we see Elijah is now fighting the very thing this woman had to learn to deal with. Now, had Elijah learned from the woman's experience, then he would not have reacted the way he did. Yet he failed to fully grasp everything within this lesson. And so when he was now faced with what he helped one, so when he was now faced with what he helped one deliver, he responds in the manner she did before. Understand, God did not just place you somewhere to be a help, but he places you in order to learn from it as well and to grow. So Elijah does what God says and moves at God's hand, and then open the news of death to him. Then so Elijah does what God says and moves at God's hand, and then upon the news of death to him, he becomes frantic and runs and hides and asks God to take him now. He forgets all of how God moved and spared the woman and begins to act like he just forgotten about it all. Keep odds open in everything you do because the lessons God is displaying before our eyes could be the key to get over the hurdle that will be placed before us later. Learn from the experience. My next point is there goes my wilderness. My God, I'm floored with what I learned today. I first at that I first, at that reunion, was open to the fact that the wilderness should not be dreaded to the extent that we have dreaded. For in our studying, it was evident that God moved in the wilderness and strengthened in the wilderness. He develops in the wilderness. And so it opened my eyes and changed my perspective. Yet again, here I go studying, and I'm illuminated yet again with the wilderness perspective. It would seem to me that if I run into the wilderness, that I would get something out of it. Elijah runs into the wilderness and he leaves his servant behind. He goes about a day's journey into the wilderness alone and then finds some place to rest. In my mind, I'm thinking God is going to show up and show out. Angels will minister to him and he will dwell in the presence of God so peacefully. Yet what I read is basically God answering, saying, why are you here? Wait a minute, Yahweh. This is the place. Here I am your servant, your child, your messenger, standing in need and the place where you would show. And when you do, your question to me is, why am I here? Yes, he replied. Nothing wrong with the wilderness per se, but if I have not called you here, and so if you are here, then the mission I called you to is being unattended and undeveloped. Don't let the words of man thrust you into a place that is not evil, but also not called for you. God, I'm reminded of a scripture, Ecclesiastes 3:1, and how there's a time for every activity under the sun. And we must ensure that our actions are aligning with this time. If we're working out and getting in better shape and then never do nothing, then what is the purpose of all the extra muscle? There's a time to gain and then time to use what you gain. You can't stay in the wilderness because this is not the time for that action. Just because it's a great place don't mean you can remain or run to it whenever you so desire. And my next point is, do you see it? So after Elijah runs into the wilderness, we see he lays down under the tree and an angel appears before him. The angel tells him to get up and eat. And so Elijah lifts his head and behold, he sees a bread cake and water. So he eats and then lays back down again. The angel appears a second time and tells him to get up and eat, for the journey before him is greater than him. Wait a minute. The journey. What the crap? Okay, the whole light in that just went on. My bad, y'all. The angel appears a second time and tells him to get up and eat, for the journey before him is greater than him. Wait a minute. The journey is greater than him. Yet then I understood that what lies ahead requires full strength, and laying without eating results to more like fainting, and this condition won't cut it. Now, I don't want to be the one to alarm anyone, but this is a clear sign that roads ahead are not just smooth and easy sailings. We must be prepared for the trials and challenges that are in our direct path. Yet it was once I started digging and studying that I realized there's more to this. In studying, I realized that this bread cake on coils was in fact one and the same as the one the widow woman made for him, which then made me think he got up the first time and ate and was instructed to do it again. Was God simply saying just eat twice? He ate the first time and just went back to laying down. So I began to think what's going on, and that's when I seen it. The angel woke him with the very thing God did last to provide for him. I personally took this as to say, remember, yes, you need your strength and need to eat literally, but there must be a partaking spiritually as well. So to say, eat and remember. Remember how I provided last time you was in need, and rest assured, I'll provide the protection you need now. Elijah didn't get it, but just laid back down, and so the angel woke him up again. You didn't get it. Wake and remember. The journey ahead is greater than you. Without remembering how he brought us out before, how will we be able to press on through further hard times, which are sure to come? I see it, Lord. We must remember what you've done to help guide us and encourage ourselves while we're going. And my next point is not as you expect. You know, I used to read this portion of scripture in this story and just thought I knew what it meant. I felt that God was saying, I don't come roaring and mighty, but only in a still, soft voice. Yet as I study scripture and read more and more, I understand that this is how he responded to this situation, but this is not at all every situation. So it became a wonder. How am I to take what's happening here? That's when I came across not as you expected. Elijah is having a tough couple of days. Now, with everything going on, he's trying again, as said, to get God to act on his behalf, but not just act. You know, as believers, when things are going wrong and someone is attacking us and trying to tear us down and or apart, we long and pray and desire for God to move in such a mighty way. We want him to show up in thunder and lightning and strike someone down. This is exactly what I believe Elijah wanted and how the events played out. First, a strong and ripping, first a strong wind ripping the mountains and crushing the rocks, showing in a way that's ripping the obstacle before us and crushing the weight in front of us. Yet we see it says Yahweh wasn't in it. I'm not just going to utterly destroy your trial every time. Some things we just got to face while understanding that grace is sufficient. Then the earthquake. I won't just destroy the ground your adversary stands on, because some things we just have to face. Then a fire. I won't just burn it away, because again, some things we just got to face. Yet in the still soft voice, I understand, Elijah, how you prefer me to arise abruptly and aggressively on your behalf, but why can't you? I'll show you in the still soft voice, which says, if you would settle down, you would bring it down. What's it? Whatever you're challenged with. We got to learn to live in the peace that he gives, the peace that surpasses all understanding. Understand, I am always going to show up, but also understand that it won't always be as you expect. And my last point was just a question. Did, well, do you guys think? Did Elijah finish his work, or was his request granted? Was there more for him?
One
It's
more
in your
time.
notes. Oh, I thought you were saying stop it. I thought you were saying it's in your notes. Never mind.
Do you
No.
believe?
Yeah.
Not do you believe? What do you guys think? Did Elijah finish his work, or was his request granted? Or basically, did he finish his work, or was his request granted, and there was possibly more for him to do?
Excuse me. At the end of 19.
Huh?
Because Elisha took over.
Well, he didn't take over yet, but God
Not
told
yet,
him he's going to take over. So, do you think there would have been more for him to do had he not been like, yo, I want to go? Or maybe he just did everything he's supposed to do and God just let him go.
Good question.
And I'm usually not one to
What was the question?
with the question, but
Sound like me now.
not going to. Can't do it. Said it twice.
Don't do yours like that. Don't do that.
Do you think?
No, I heard the question when you were
Elijah?
saying you're normally not one to. I said you're not one to really pose questions. Normally you have your point.
Oh,
You don't
I
pose
thought you
questions.
said what was the question?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm saying normally you don't have a question to pose to the group like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Normally I don't, but when I finished reading it, I personally took it a certain way. So I was like, let me ask the fellas.
Yeah, because so I'll go and say I think it was finished. That'd be my response.
That would be my take when I read it, but when you ask the question, it makes me wonder.
Yeah, because now I was sitting here like,
so
I think
don't want to get mine.
I think he was done though. I think he was just like physically, spiritually. I think he was just over it. So that's what makes me feel like maybe he had more. Now that you posed the question. So I mean, I think it's fair to think that he could have been given more. I think he was over it though. I think he was just, and then God was like, all right. Because if you think about it, because we've talked about things similar to the way you asked the question. So it's just like Elisha would have been the next one in line anyways. But it's fair.
Yeah, see, I don't.
It's fair to reason that he could have gone. It's fair to reason that he could have done more, and then Elijah would have been next. But yet, he was just next in place right away because he was just fed up. So like, I think there may have been more for him. I think that's fair. Ezra, you gonna put your food down and respond?
I don't have food in my hands, sir. Actually, it's on the table over there. As you can see, I'm not chewing at the moment. I'm in thought, actually.
Hands up, don't shoot, huh? Okay. Oh, we recording. My bad. We recording. My bad.
What's wrong with that? Hands up, don't shoot. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyway.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's a good statement.
Thank you.
I like the question. Personally, I wanted after your question to say there was more for him to do, and I agree with Dude that he was mentally done. He quit. I'll say it that way.
Man, that's true.
He did. He asked God to kill him
Yeah.
in the forest. So or yeah. So he quit mentally. He was done, like you just said. However, I know that yours has subtitles, Hop. And so I'm looking at my subtitle. My subtitle reads Elisha's appointment as Elijah's successor. So with that, it's like this is the appointed time to name him, whether he's supposed to take over right now or whether they're just supposed to have their encounter appointment. Hey, listen, in a couple, blah, 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 you're going to take over. You're going to be the next one. Um, so that's why I was sitting here going back and forth. Based on the
So
subtitle, I say no, he was done. Based on my personal thought, like Dude said, he quit. Or I say he quit based on giving up. He was done mentally, physically, spiritually. And it's like if
so
you,
my
for
go
me,
ahead.
if you're not willing to be used, God can use you. But if you're not willing to be used, then you're not going to be as successful in being used. So I mean that's I guess where I stand with it. What's your thoughts?
So my thought, I'm not gonna give my answer because I want Devon to go, but my thought to that, so not even devil's advocate, but my thought to that is, so the not the subtitle, jeez, the commentary at the bottom says his appointed time. So what if it's his appointed time because God already knew Elijah was going to be like, I don't want to do this no more.
Okay. So then I still fall back on my first one, which is he quit. So I feel like
So
I just feel like that was maybe I'm reaching, but I feel like there was more for Elijah to do. Okay, dude, you met with the widow, you dealt with her situation, you revived her son, you on to a path right now. You rolling, you cooking,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So with that, you about to do some things. You about to put up 81, know what I mean?
Okay,
I'm
relax.
just saying, like when you cooking right, I know you don't know your man don't know anything about that. I'm just saying. That's not
yeah,
my
that's not nigga cutting.
fault. So for me, you I guess that the cliche going too soon, dude, you was rolling. You was in a
Yeah.
mode. You was in a mood. You was in a groove. So the hats for me, there had to be more for you to do with the way you was rolling. You're not gonna stop here. But you tired and you quit, you give up. So like I said, I don't know how God can still use you, but are you gonna be as powerful in being used when you yourself quit? So I don't know. Scrub, what's your thoughts?
So
AD.
for me, yep. What's up? I'm here.
No,
I'm
go ahead.
listening.
I was just calling you so I could hear your answer. That was it.
So for me, I feel like he was done. Um, just me personally, I don't feel like if God has you on a path to do something and you, like John said, you start out bang, you do this, then you on to the next one, you start banging it out, you on a roll. I don't feel like God is just gonna let you be like, yo, this is my end of the road. I know you want me to go further, but I'm gonna call it quits. I'm gonna take the James Harden bus and travel. You know what I mean? I just feel like, so for me, I feel like he was done for God to just let him, that's just me though.
Okay, I'll take that.
What,
Ceiling
what's your,
and floors.
what was your thoughts? How?
I mean, my thought was like Christian Hop was saying, he quit. Like he, I personally felt like there was more he could have done, but because he started, doing everything and the complaining and the man, I'm afraid, I don't want this no more. I felt like God just granted his request, and
Mm.
knowing he had Elisha there already, he was like, you know what? Move Elisha. That's just that way I took it when I read it, and we didn't get there yet, but because we grew up in the church, I know that he ends up leaving. And the crazy part is he doesn't even. Well, I guess I shouldn't go into that, even though we all know it. I don't want to go into that.
Yeah,
But
I didn't touch on it
you
because I
know,
know we hit that in
yeah,
some
we
chapters
haven't
up
got there
ahead.
yet, so I don't even know what chapter. I know it's ahead. I don't know what chapter it is, but just because
Like you
we
said, we all grew up.
grew up
You know the
in the
stories.
church, and we know that how he departs. So for me, all of the stuff going through my head, like, you know what? I really did Elijah get expedited? Elisha get expedited because Elijah decided, I'm done. Now, granted, it didn't end right there. He still has work to do, but I just personally feel like I looked at it as Moses. So Moses, I feel like God was going to use you even more because you were supposed to take them into the land. But because your actions, you got held out and you couldn't continue. So then someone else was brought in, they were expedited in Joshua. So that's just how I looked at it.
So,
So Elijah is Moses 2.0.
I
so
mean, I wasn't gonna say that,
I
but
wouldn't say because oh
but when you was talking, Hop, that's what I heard. And not that he's
oh, okay.
2.0, but more so, wow, we're saying because he quit, God couldn't use him anymore. But Scrub just said, um, God ain't gonna let go that easy. So thinking about Moses, as many times as Moses said, I don't want this no more. I'm tired of hearing them. Man, get me out of here. Man, just take me away. And God kept, nah, you good. Stay put. You got more.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
got
saying.
more. So
But
then why did he allow, so if that's the case, then why did Elijah get off the hook?
That's what I said. Like that's why I
see,
said
but
to me. I thought
I
he was.
don't I don't think Elijah got off the hook because it didn't end in 19. He still continued on.
He
He
still
just
continued
didn't.
on, but he wasn't the face anymore. He wasn't in the forefront, I guess.
Yeah, because in 21, he is the forefront that addresses the next
Uh,
guy. I mean, Ahab again. Elijah's not even Elisha's not even mentioned in 21.
mm,
I guess the
again,
way
I'm
I.
So
just go ahead. What was you gonna say, boss?
I guess the way I see it is that yeah, he was up here on the high note, and well, he's like I said for me, I was like, yo, he's just done. Because even though, yeah, I'm on a high note. What you need me to do next, God? I need you to go find Elisha, get ready to pass your mantle on to him. I need you to go find this person and find this person. I need you to find these three people. Get ready for this, and then you about to go home. So it's like this is my ceiling, but the person I'm passing it on to, that's about to be your floor. You're gonna start here, and you're gonna take it up. But right now, like I'm on a high note. So instead of going from a high note, start declining. Hey, I'm gonna just end you on a high note. I'm gonna just pass it on to people that's gonna do
Better, bigger.
Yeah.
But was he on a I'm on a high note? What next, God? Or was he on the I'm on a high note, God, but at the same time, yo, I really don't want this anymore. Kill me
And
now,
see,
please.
that's
Hey,
how I
shoot
took it, D.
me, Bucko.
And I honestly, I didn't even look at it as a high note. I just looked at it as, regardless whether he went out high or low, for me, God
Get it out
didn't
the boat. Get out the
say
boat.
anything about Elisha until after Elijah said, "Take my life." So because of the way, can't think of the best word, because of the turn of events and the way it was placed out, like, he did what God told him to do. They threatened his life. He got scared. He ran. He don't want to be here. God tells him, get out of here. And by the way, you're going to go to Elijah. So it was like Elijah's going to take over, like a ease. Like, all right, man, enough of this whining. This person's going to take over for you. So that's just how I took it.
Steps over. Steps over.
Judah and Ania.
Yo.
I just
Nobody? Silence? I'll go next.
Pop and in 21, his situation with Ahab was
We skipping chapters.
no. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
situation.
I think he just responded, because of what I said.
So for me,
Or Alina.
that was more of a response, a response to the situation.
Yeah.
And yes, God did push him into that.
Clean up.
Cuz are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?
Who, me? Or you talk about Scrub? Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta bypass that. I don't even know why he wanted that for that attention. Like I heard him immediately in one ear out the other. Okay, that didn't
Right
make
out.
sense, but cool.
Right out. I was gonna bring it up later though.
Oh, you was? I wasn't. I was gonna just go, okay. What?
What is the problem?
He's eating nuts.
It was one word.
I don't even know what you got going on. Anyway, so for me, that was just a response. It wasn't the situation with the widow woman. It definitely wasn't the situation with her son. And it wasn't
It's just all kind of toys and crayons and stuff like that.
it wasn't the situation with the queen, and that's going ahead too.
Nah, he just sent them back to the same one he ran from. In 21, he sends them back to the same.
Yeah, but
in 19,
how was
running
that the
from Ahab.
face? How was that the face?
Because God, as a prophet, God was sending him as a messenger, which is basically what a prophet does. So he still used them. You know, I mean, he could have said, Elijah, go declare this, because that's just the way I looked at it. Unless it's just before he takes him out, he's making them face the thing he was
ran
scared of.
He ran from Jezebel, not from
Ahab's wife.
Yeah, he ran from Jezebel. Jezebel was about to put them.
I know who he ran from, man. But to go back to Ahab,
have him stabbed.
To go back to Ahab, you're still in the vicinity of Jezebel.
Okay.
But I think,
All right, I'll take it. Well, I like the thought.
I was gonna say, as far as him going to see, well, it's
I mean, I'm not saying for sure. Yeah, it was just a thought.
Yeah, but I like the thought. I like the Did he have more? I mean, cool. Scrub. I mean, dude, you was headed in or no?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going.
Oh,
Josh was going.
shoot. Okay, my bad. Boss, go ahead with it.
All right, so here we are. My first note for 19 is verse 4.
Good.
I just put, be careful what you say about yourselves in times of stress, going through, being frustrated, etc. For him to speak, I'm as bad as my ancestors, as what we know of his ancestors up until now. He hasn't done anything wrong to the extent of what his ancestors have done. To make God upset, or even him himself, being Elijah, turning away from God, no longer following God and following his ways. So, because of course the enemy will take those same words and play on them and attack you mentally, which can start to fluster you and show up physically with the same words that you said. So just, I guess, just in thought, being careful what you say about yourself or what you speak of yourself. And then my last note, I put verse, I think it's verse 11 through 12. I don't know why the other one ain't there, and I know it ain't 20. So I put, this is absolutely mind blowing and crazy that in Yahweh appearing, what came before him was ripping winds that crush rocks, fire, and an earthquake. And then a whisper came, and he spoke. The fact that all of this came before God even showed up or began to speak, well, just his presence alone is absolutely insane and mind blowing. So to look back at it, ripping winds that's crushing rocks could be a tornado, fire, wildfire, and of course earthquakes. Ow. It also made me think of the fact that all this happened when Elijah, that all of this happened, and when Elijah heard the whisper, he then covered his face and went out. So the storms that have passed, which of course most of the time when these storms pass or manifest here while we're alive, is incredibly bad, and the damage that is done is ridiculous. But at this point, the storm that passed before Elijah had, yes, the storms that passed for beforehand, yes, Elijah was safe and had shelter. But so do we whenever we go through storms and trying times, because the hand of God that is on us. It may not be a physical cave, but it's stronger than any physical cave that there is. Those storms that passed, I for one think that those storms started getting Elijah's attention, one by one, and maybe he was asleep or tired, which we've seen in previous verses. And as each one passed, he didn't hear God's voice just yet. So to me, I think he laid back down and relaxed until he heard the whisper. Which then he knew at that point with the whisper, okay, my God is now here. Sheesh. After all of that, the whisper alone got his attention, and he knew that he's here. Now let me cover up my face because I can't physically look at him. And to have such an ear to hear, to know how close he was, all in all, this was just incredible. And that's my 19. I
All
see a
right.
hand. Oh, he's reached for the light. Never mind.
Oh, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, all right. All right, all right. So I got one point for 19, and it's remember what God has done. Verse 10 shows the words of a man that is defeated. Elijah feels alone. He feels like he is the only one carrying forth the tasks that God has set in motion. The reality was furthest from the truth. This story speaks at large what it's like for us, especially as Christian men. Remember, this is the same Elijah we talked about last week, where God told him to move. He obeyed and God provided. Same God that provided a miracle when Elijah's faith was shown, and God allowed a dead child to be raised from the dead. Yet still, this Elijah was afraid when he heard that Jezebel was looking to kill him. He fled and felt alone. Even through two great spiritual victories, with the defeat of the prophets and his answered prayer for rain. Plain and simple, Elijah was depressed. Discouragement had set him discouragement had set in after his experiences required much physical effort and emotion. Throughout his physical struggles, Throughout his physical struggles, though, God still provided. Twice in the Word we read where God, through an angel, instructs Elijah to get up and eat, providing him with enough strength to travel 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights sounds awful familiar to me. I know another guy that was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. You see, whatever you're struggling with, Jesus has been there. Jesus too was tempted. Jesus too endured physical exhaustion. That's why God had to come to Elijah, not in a flamboyant manner, though we know God is capable, but he also understands how to speak to each and every one of us. That fact alone should bring us joy. God loves us so much and so intimately that he meets us where we are, or sometimes, like he did with Elijah, asks us to meet him by the mountainside. The word says that after the fire, Elijah heard a gentle whisper. It is in the biggest storms of our lives that sometimes God chooses to show up in the most gentle way. Be still and hear what God is telling you. And that's my 19.
Dig it.
Scrub.
Ezra.
Do you have anything like that in your notes?
Dig it. No.
The
Shut the
40
door.
days, 40 nights?
No. No. I chose not to do the numbers because you're the number guy, like you
Oh
said.
my
You're the
God.
number guy.
I didn't do
I
it.
figured you would. Well, I need the number guy to do more with the numbers.
So I have a question. I didn't write it down, but I was hoping somebody did it. So I left it alone thinking that somebody would. Do
I
you
figured you or
feel,
dude was.
huh?
I figured either you or dude was going to.
I didn't know who. I just figured somebody will go ahead and dive into it. So my question is this. So we read he 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 laid down, the angel woke him up, eat this, drink this. He went to sleep. Angel woke him up again, and Hop went there, but didn't I guess go all the way there. In that
That's not the right. God dang it.
um angel woke him up again. Eat, drink. You won't be able to make it on your journey without. It says he ate, he drank again, and he traveled for 40 days, 40 nights. Did the meal, the bread and water, sustain him to start, or did the meal sustain him for the 40 days, 40 nights? What do you think?
I took that as sustaining for the whole 40 days, 40 nights.
I thought it was the whole 40.
Bread and water.
Struggle
Yeah.
meal. Ramen noodles of today.
No.
I think he said boss op. I couldn't hear him.
I'm sure he did.
Because my Bible says the food gave him enough strength to travel 40 days and 40 nights. And then the verse before that, the angel says, get up, eat some more, or the journey ahead would be too much. So, I mean, maybe it's the start and the journey.
For me, you want me to go the easy route or you want me to?
Oh my gosh.
I want you to say what's right.
I'm not saying what's right. I'm saying, do you want me to go the easy way?
No.
We don't do easy buttons around here. We're not Staples.
Okay.
Shut up.
Then I'll go the route of saying it started him on the journey.
Explain. And no, I want to hear why he says that.
Yo, he just said he want to know why he said that, yo.
No.
Davon wants to know why I said that. He wants your answer though.
Ezra don't care about what I want. I'm just gonna let you know that. My bad.
What?
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He doesn't care about the why. He doesn't care about the why. He just wants to answer. Go ahead, Hop.
So for me, my answer is going to revert back to what I said in my note. I personally think he got up at 8. The angel woke him up. Eat some more. So yeah, it started him. So for what I believe, I'm going to say it started him only because I don't think it was all about just the bread and the food, the bread and the water. I think it was more than just physical.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Davis for 500. I see your hand up.
Forget it. He doesn't care about the why.
But you're not answering me, you answering him. I'm about he's answering you. I don't care about the why. You care about the why. That's for you. That's your knowledge, right? I'm not knowledge.
So,
Thumbs up. Same to you, Yosh. He has a question for you.
so the reason why I say it started him, of course, we all know there's stuff that's just not written in the Bible. So I guess you could say it's left up to interpretation. But it's along the lines of what Dude was saying. If he ate the first go round, hey, bro, I need you to wake back up and eat. That's one of those things of, yo, I'm not feeling good. Yo, you need to eat something so you can have some strength. Yo, I ate this. That's not enough. I need you to eat some more. Not for you to go 40 days, 40 nights. I need you to eat some more so you can get up and start and last without collapsing within just a couple, like after day one, next thing you know, you collapsed and passed out. They're not even saying that he ate every day, but a cake and water, and then he gave him the second go around, and yo, I need you to wake back up and eat some more. Could it sustain 40 days and 40 nights? I'm not sure because I've never tried it.
Hey, listen, you should try it.
Baby,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
This is what I think. After he ate the first time, he laid back down. He went back to the same attitude and position he was in when he first laid down, all depressed. So that's why for me, like it just goes back to, I think it was more or less
A reminder situation.
You got to eat because you got a journey ahead, and you can't do it alone. Yeah, you can't do it alone. You not even including me in what you're doing right now. You just want to lay down and weep. You want to sleep. You want to feel bad. They after you. No, get up. Had he got up the first time and ate and began to focus on God, would he have been instructed to eat again? Don't really know. But for me, you know what I mean? Like you.
So then why would the angel say you wouldn't make it without, you wouldn't make it?
But what did you do afterwards? You went right back to the same mindset.
To make it.
Because he told him, you can't genuine. I don't think it was all physical.
It was the mental spiritual.
Go ahead, Hop.
No, I'm going off of what you were saying, in that for your answer, for your question, Scrub, what Hop is saying, it wasn't about the food. It was about the reminder of put me first. And so when I read it, I went to what Yosh just said in that could bread and water sustain him for 40 days, 40 nights. Based on what Hop is saying is, for lack of better words, or a better scenario, the the two fish and five loaves of bread, how far that went. So if that went to feed 5,000, then the two loaves and water from God could definitely sustain him for the duration of 40 days and 40 nights based on that scenario. But more so what Hop is saying is the second time is more so put me in it. Make sure you remember what I've already done for you before. And if you remember what I've done for you before, then that means you'll keep me in mind on your journey. I was looking at it more from the natural scenario of, could that freaking bread and water? That's it, dude? I mean, fasting for a week with just water is like, whoa, for me. 40 days, 40 nights with just water and a loaf of bread. Yikes. That's
That's
scary. That's scary. So that's what I was looking at. Did
You
that
think
really?
Jesus did it with nothing?
Hey, he's Jesus though. I'm not Jesus, my
Yeah,
guy.
that's what I'm saying. That man, he good, man.
So that's what I was looking at. I was looking at it more so from the natural, physical realm. Hop is taking it from the spiritual realm of his more, and that's why I said he didn't go into it the way that I was thinking about it. He went into it his mindset, which was the spiritual realm of it. It was more so for the remembrance to carry and keep God um, in mind in his situation and his journey. So cool. I'll take that. You go, Scrub. I was just asking that question since Chris went there. And that's why I asked you if you had it in your notes. If you did, I was gonna let you just ride.
That man said, I'm done, coach. Mentally, I'm done.
Uh,
Physically, I'm done. Spiritually, I'm done. Just stick the fork in me and slow turn me.
all right, so I started my 19 with a question, but I'm gonna read what I have and then come back to the question. So for 19, I put sometimes the road may seem bumpy to the point where to the point we feel as if we should quit or give up. And as brothers and believers, we have to realize that this walk that we are on, this fight we are going through, is bigger than us. We are in the book of leadership, and as leaders, we can't give up because this walk is bigger than us. What we go through, uh, what we go through, we will one day be able to give advice and share our stories to people who are going through similar things that we've been through in the past. So that was my 19. My question is, because when I read that whole thing where he's like, yo, God, kill me now, please shoot me in the face, Bucko. My question is it a sin to pray for death upon yourself?
Yo, that's crazy that you said that because low key, I was, it wasn't the exact question, but I had a thought in my mind. But I let everybody else answer.
Good question.
I guess I would have to say yeah.
Wow.
And
Because what I was thinking about, I was like, wouldn't that be technically like suicide? But God don't play that, so he'd be like, nah,
Yo,
I ain't
hey,
about to kill you.
listen, hey, Chris, you said that, right? And when we first got on and Hop asked me about the girl, asked me if I talked to her, my mind automatically went to this question. And after y'all answered, I was gonna be like, well, let's say God does, grant your prayer or whatever, would you be able to go to heaven? Because that's technically suicide. That's crazy. You said that, yo. That is crazy.
Cause
Hey,
that's
yo,
what got
somebody
in my
tell Chris.
Okay,
that's
but
what brought
okay.
that's
So,
what
but
brought it in my head.
in what way
Is it suicide?
That
I mean,
you
not in the
I was about to say, then what?
not in
Because
the
technically,
literal
suicide.
sense.
But that's what I'm saying. Suicide, for me to go to hell,
I have to kill myself.
I would literally
Yeah.
have to, like, right now, if I take my gun off my hip, cock it, and blow my head off, I have absolutely no chance of repentance. I have no chance of nothing. I don't even have an opportunity to, because I know I'm about to kill myself. I know I'm purposely taking my life. Whereas to, yo, God, just take me now, bro.
But
I'm tired. And if
Yoshi, I
it's
got a question.
allowed,
I got a question.
What chances
I got a
did to
question.
repent?
in my
I got a
in my
question.
mind, it's a
I got a question.
go ahead, go ahead,
question,
go ahead, go
question.
ahead.
Yoshi. So you hire a hitman to come kill you. Can you go to heaven?
Is he hiring a hitman?
He's asking God to
I
kill him.
think
He's
I
asking
think it's a
God to
matter of
kill him.
I
If
feel
you
like it's a
hire a
mental.
hitman, can
I
you go
think
to
it's a
heaven?
for me, it's not so much like we're saying suicide, but when I say that, to me, it's a mentality in my mind. In my mind, it's like
I
mentality.
think it's a matter of how we view the question. Now, my reason for saying that is, it's one thing how he been like, just let somebody kill me. I'm done. But for him to be asking God, take me, does that mean it doesn't mean he has to experience death in the manner of what we're thinking? That could be just take me off the face of the earth. I'm ready to go to heaven.
Enoch.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Enoch before Elijah, he was the first one. And he didn't ask for it. God just took him.
In which we know how Elijah.
And it don't say a
ended
whole
up
lot
being.
about Enoch, so we can't really. Yeah, so him saying, "Take me, I don't want to be here. I'm done. I keep doing what you want me to do. People keep trying to kill me." If you view it in the sense of, I want to kill myself, let somebody kill me, you could pose it as suicide or whatever way you want. But if I'm asking God to take me out of this life, because I know there's enough that this don't end here. He's a prophet. He's not just some regular dude walking around who don't know stuff. So
Yeah,
it
but
depends on how.
I that makes perfect sense. Like I understand that, but I have a struggle. I think where like maybe we shouldn't use the word suicide, but I do struggle with him saying that.
Wanting to get out of here.
Oh yeah, listen, I totally disagree with his statement. He should. I feel like that shouldn't have been his route.
Yeah.
But see, that's
But
where the thought comes in my mind though, because it's just like you giving up, which can be viewed
now,
as it can just be viewed as because when people commit suicide, they're giving up. So that's why I correlate the two, even though I know you can't. But that's where the
yeah,
struggle
because you
is.
can give up in a lot of different ways outside of suicide. You can't just say give up equates to suicide.
But but the thought process to me is still the same. Though I'm giving up essentially. You know what I mean? It's just I get what you. It's wrong to use the word suicide. I just don't like the mentality of it.
Yeah, that's a big
You're
bridge to
right.
try to connect
You're right.
from I give up. That's a big bridge with a lot of other little roads on it. You know what I mean? I could give up in tons of ways. Don't mean that I got to be like, yo, I quit. I wouldn't kill myself.
Come on.
You know, because if that's the case, it would be just as fun just to be like, all right, I'm going back to Ahab. I'm gonna let Jezebel kill me. I'm done.
You're right.
You know what I mean? He doesn't want man to kill him. He's telling God, I'm done. Take me out of here.
Hit me up, Scotty.
In essence, I agree still. It's still wrong.
For him to be like, yo, just take me.
To say, does he go to hell? You have to be able to say he sinned Like sin is going against what God commands.
Which in the essence of suicide, you're sinning by taking your own life.
Yeah, but if he's telling God, hey, just please take me out of here, at what command is he going against?
God's will
As
for his
far as
life.
I get that, but what command is he disobeying?
To me, it still just goes.
What he's doing is wrong.
But you,
Because
to
so
me,
it's
but you,
to
but
say
you can't ask
is
that question.
Moses in heaven or hell? Why I can't ask is Moses in heaven or hell?
No. I mean,
no, I wasn't making a face because of that. I was like, yo, that's a.
To me,
is Moses? Where's Moses? You don't want to talk about it.
Two-stepping on the
You don't want to
gold
talk
road
about
right
it?
now. Two-stepping on the
Do
gold
you
road.
want to tell me where Moses is? It's simple.
That one's different though.
Is he hot or is he chilling? Whoa! It's going against God's will for his life.
This man said that's different. That's
Oh
one and the
my
same. Moses
God.
asked it several
You
times.
took giving up and suicide and made it the same. And I asked you if this man, and you tell me it's different. I don't know how it's different. Moses chose not to do what God said. He was fed up with the people.
Smack the rock. You can't get in. You die
That
here.
was literally going to command it.
I mean, I only say it's different. I only say it's different because what they endured was different. But to me, it's still. I'm with dude. Like
Elijah.
You. It's not up for you to decide. That's where the correlation is. I understand there's a lot.
I am in total agreement with that.
But that's what dude is saying though. Like it's not up to you to decide. Like you can't get to choose either whether or not it's God taking your life or you.
Wait, that's wrong. That is wrong.
What?
That is not. It's not that you don't get to choose, because then that goes against with God with the whole freedom of choice.
Not. It's not. It does go against the freedom of choice, but it's still. But it's not your place for the time. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like it's not your place to choose the time. That's my point.
I agree. He has our lives set out from end to beginning to end, right? So on day 3, you're supposed to turn right, and you get this. But if you choose to turn left, he lets you turn left.
I know, but that's what dude was saying.
So then it goes back to my original question: was there more? If you don't get to choose, I mean,
no, you can choose. You can.
Oh, wait a minute!
Wait. Let me finish. You can't. I never. But my point is,
side and stay there.
No, wait. You can, but it's not. It's.
You can't be doing the forbidden dance all over the floor, baby.
You can because you're given free choice.
Oh, you
but
can.
that's not what. But that's not what God like. You're not supposed to. Though. That's my point, though. Dude, can you help me, please? Can you help me, please?
You're not supposed to?
I understand what you're saying, yo. But what I'm saying is, because God has a certain timeline for your life, and you make a choice to do something, we all do that. None of us are walking 100% in that timeline. From the time we were born to the time we die, none of us, because none of us are perfect. The only one that walked that was Christ. So what I'm saying, though, is to say hell is to say he disobeyed a command.
But so
that's sin.
For me, all right, for me, and I'm gonna pull Moses back into the scenario. Moses, for what it's worth, yes, Moses went against God's will. Hey, do X. Moses did Y, right? On more than one occasion. However, Moses, I don't want to use, well, I guess he did. I can't remember him actually saying, I repent, right? I don't know that we actually read in anywhere in the word where it says,
Don't say it, but I mean, I'm sure he did.
I repent. But we believe Moses got it right. So in other words, in the sense of the word,
Yeah.
Moses repented. He did a 180 and turned away. The question was his thought sin? The reason I said yes, his thought, his request sin. The reason I said yes is because I took it not so much, God, get me out of here. You quit, dude. You want no more to do with any of this. You're done with life. And I'm trying to find his words.
And see, maybe that's what we should have did, because that'll help understand more.
It's verse.
He sat under a tree. So it says in verse 4, he sat down under a broom tree and prayed, or verse 4, he sat under a broom tree and prayed that he might die. So he said, I have had enough. Lord, take my life, for I'm no better than my fathers. So in that respect, for me, I say sin, and I didn't attribute it to suicide, but
Oh, it says
well, I didn't
suicide in
use the
verse
word
6.
suicide. I didn't use the word suicide, but I guess I did attribute it to it because for me, I said, okay, as a man thinketh, so is he. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So he wanted to die, regardless of God's timing for his death. Yes, God has a time for each of us, but for me, I don't want to live no more. So if I say I don't want to live no more, then in his, I'm ready to die. He asked God, take my life. I'm done living. I don't want to be on this earth anymore. I'm tired of dealing with these people. I'm tired of dealing with your will. I'm done. Get me out of here. Not take me up, but God, take my life. Not take me up like Enoch. God, take my life.
Point. That's my point. It's a mentality.
So for me, as a man thinketh, so is he. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And this was his thought process. So even God says, okay, think about wow, when we was reading in the New Testament, trying to remember if it was in Matthew or not, but if he looks at a woman and lusts, he's already committed the sin, right? So if you're going to go that far to say, if I look at a woman and I think lustful thoughts, then I've already committed the sin beyond me acting upon my thought. Then the same thing goes for me with this situation. Not that God granted it. So yes, he does have a chance to get it right, just like Moses did. But in that moment, for me, he committed a sinful act because he thought it. Yes, boss.
Dude, if he knew that there was another way out of, I guess, this life, do you think he would have still been like, just let me die?
See, when you
rephrase it.
But it's not so much the
Hold on,
act.
I want to rephrase it. I just want to make sure
it's
I'm
not
where
so.
you are.
It's not so much
So
the
Why
actions, and it's
can't
not so much
rephrase
the
it?
options. It's his mentality is the point I'm trying to make.
But what I'm saying, at this point,
and that's
I know the only thing for me to leave this life
is to die.
is death. But if he knew
God could call
Enoch was
me up.
just taken, we all know the Bible. Eventually, he gets taken up by a chariot of fire in a whirlwind of fire. If he knew that that was even an option, do you think he would have been like, yo, just let me die? Or would have been, God, you can go ahead and take me up now?
And
No,
see,
I
when
get
I
what you,
went back,
I get what you're
when
saying.
I went back to study he's not saying so. When I looked it up, what he's saying is, I've lived long enough for thy cause, and I am not likely to do thee any more service. Neither my words nor works are likely to do any good upon these unstable and incorrigible people. So it's not like he's saying he's basically saying everyone who answered, he finished. He's saying, I did what you sent me here to do.
But
I'm done.
in the same breath that you had a question of whether he has more, how do you know you don't have more? How can you tell me you're ready?
See, but that question is because on the outside, we're looking like, yo, I believe
Just
he
give
has
up,
more.
or is he
But
done? Right. Well, yeah.
and if you're in a situation looking, I spoke to the prophets, I did what you said, they trying to kill me, I'd rather leave by you than to let these corruptible people put their hands on me. I don't think it's a matter of him feeling like, yo, I just want to die. Somebody shoot me in the head. I think it's a matter of him saying, I came, I did, I came, I saw, I conquered. I'm ready to go.
I would be able to accept that if he was sick.
If he was sick, that's retarded.
So the only way you accept it is if he's sick.
Because to me that thought process occurs when people are sick. Hey, I'm ready. I run my race.
See, now you're looking at the circumstance from your mindset of today. You can't do that with
But
back
how
in the
can
day.
you? But how
They
can
don't
you?
have that knowledge.
But how can you tell God? You're telling God, I'm ready. If God, if it's not for you yet, who are you to say I'm ready? Regardless of
So can you not
what
make
you
your
have
request?
done until then.
Can you not make your own request?
That's a tough one. That's a tough.
His request
That's a
is
tough
that
request.
I'm done. What do you mean?
To
That's a
leave
tough.
this
Can you
earth?
not
How do
make?
you know your purpose has been fulfilled?
I didn't ask you. Can you make that request? I said, can you see? Because you keep trying to view the situation stuck in the box of the way we see it and the way we comprehend it. But it's one thing to say that's a tough request. You don't know if you're done. That's the same concept as saying, God, I'm tired of being on this level. I'm ready for elevation. And God's look at you and say, no, you're not. You have not completed.
That's two separate things, though.
It's not. It's because your mind is stuck on take me out. He feel like he's reached his final. I'm not
Prior to
saying
this,
he has.
Elijah was already on the move because Ahab and them was already trying to kill him. That's why when Elijah ran into Buddy and was like, yo, go tell Ahab I'm here. He was like, hey, man, I've been lying to them for years talking about, yo, he's not in this city when you send me there. He's not in this city.
His problem is fear.
Yeah.
That's his problem.
I've been ducking and I've been dive and dodging y'all for years. Like, y'all have literally been after try to kill me.
Isn't that an important distinction of the reasoning behind it? So, like the examples you gave, each of those have different meanings behind it, right? So,
because at this point, Elijah, here's your mission now. Go to expose, put everything on blast. Cool. He goes, battles it out with their prophets. Of course, God shows up. Cool. Hey yo, he's about to die the same way he killed them. He killed them by the sword. He's gonna die by the sword right here. He's told, yo, get out of Dodge. He leaves. Hey yo, get up. You got to make it here first. Get ready to go to sleep, pass out. Wake back up because you have to get here. So if there was more, it would have, not saying that there wasn't more, but it's like, yo, at this point, in him, I've done all of this. I've been running. I've did everything you've asked me to do every time.
It's hard.
These people trying to kill me.
I'm stuck on it.
I don't disagree that it's not hard. I don't disagree because I wholeheartedly understand it's not easy, but it's equivalent to say in today's world, I went into my job and I made people believers. I went to the church somebody was in a wheelchair, and we prayed. I prayed over them. They got up and walked. All right. I went into Mecca and spoke the word of God and seen thousands of Muslims transform. And now they are after my life. No matter where I go, I'm being threatened that God gonna do worse to me, worse to the person who's threatening me, and more if they don't get me. So now I'm coming to God saying, God, I've done what you sent me here to do. I'm ready to go. Take my life. Kill me. I do not want these people to have the satisfaction of taking my life, not as being the man of God that I am. Is he right? By no means. But it's not like, see, the way you're saying it is as if the dude just got tired. I'm tired of being a prophet. God won't wake me up at 3 a.m. and go walk to Israel to tell these people that they doing wrong. I'm tired of doing all this. I'm out. Kill me. It's not a matter of him just wanting to give up because he just hates life. Circumstances has fallen out in a way where it seems like, what more can I do? I've done what you said, and now they're trying to kill me. This must be the end of the line for me. Again, is that the right mindset? By no means, because you don't know what God has in store for you just because the way things are falling out in your life. But to say that this is just a matter of quitsies, I'm done, life itself sucks. If the circumstances didn't look the way they have been looking, I don't think this would even be a conversation with Elijah. Is he wrong? I wholeheartedly agree. I don't even think his mindset was, and again, this is just me because there's no solidified fact on it. I just don't believe his mindset was, I don't want to be alive to do God's will anymore, kill me, in that mindset.
So that's
I don't
okay.
think he
So
was
that's
thinking.
so that's what Josh's question was, right? That's what you was getting at, Josh.
As
If
far
there
as
was
if there was
another one, would he have chosen that one? Because this
yeah,
one was out of fear.
Yeah, I don't think his mindset was, I feel like
I mean, I get
life
that.
is over regardless of what I do,
I get
so
that.
I'm just evil. I don't think that was his mindset at all. And that's why my standpoint is, I don't believe hell was his option, was his portion. Because if that was the case, why did God take him up in a chariot of fire?
Well, I think it was just brought up. I never went as far as the hell piece. I just thought of it.
Oh, okay.
But even the suicide piece, it was just something that just popped into my mind. But
Oh, shoot.
because compared to Paul, that he's a whole nother ball game.
See, and the crazy part is he's not the only one to make this request. So you saying Jonah would be in hell also because he made the same request. So that's why I said in the beginning, I think it's a matter of how we're viewing the situation, how we are accepting the question and pondering what's going on. Hop disappeared.
long story short, though, I wanted Devon to know I was thinking along the same lines too. Like,
Oh, he in the kitchen and he whipping. Seasoning chicken.
Oh, he cooking. My bad.
Finger licking.
you better be feeding my dog. I want some puppies.
I want one. I would like them.
No, he need to hurry up. COVID or not, I don't care.
You're getting sidetracked, okay?
Yeah, see, I was about to get sidetracked with him too. Like, my
So
food just
sidetracked.
messaged me about a therapeutic
Thank you
dog.
for keeping us on track. Thank you for doing your job. Finally.
So I got the job. Because you still haven't answered. I would love to know if I
I thought you was being serious right now. I thought you was being serious.
I'm being very serious.
Davon, you done or you got something else?
So just disregard my question,
You
right?
gotta get back on track. We gotta get on track.
Act like you're not even here, huh?
My question is still on track. Do I have the job?
We're recording. People are waiting for us to go. Davon, what you got left?
So your answer to the question is no, it's not a sin.
Davon's like, so y'all gonna answer my question now?
I don't think, from the standpoint of how I feel like he was saying, I think it's wrong, but I don't think he was actually sinning.
Okay.
What do you think, Scrub?
So for me, when I read it, at first I was like, yo, did this nigga really just ask God to take his life? Like, so I'm like, yo, that has, like, is that a sin? Because you're literally asking to be killed. But then as I sat there and thought about it, I was like, he doesn't really want to die, because if he did, he wouldn't have fled. He wouldn't have ran. He'd have just let them kill him. So at that point, I'm just like, yo, you don't want to, in a sense, you don't want to die, because if you did, you would have just got killed and you wouldn't have ran. But you're asking God to kill you. So at that point, my mind was baffled. I'm just like, I can't tell if this nigga's sinning or not. Is this man a sinner or is he not a sinner? And that's why I asked the question. But yeah, that was my 19.
Well, look at my cup. Now, if I kill him, I'd be wrong.
So I'm gonna go with what you just said, Scrub, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
I'm tired of you playing on the devil's side.
He don't know how to act.
I just think it's a cool. I think it's a cool point. With what you just said.
I don't think God would appreciate you playing the devil. You know?
Well, I'm gonna play the other side. I'm
went deep.
I'm gonna bring it from a different perspective.
We're all the way in the cauldron.
Okay. Hey, my bad. I misunderstood. My bad.
I'll bring it from a different perspective. I know I can't stand to lose. Right? I don't like it. Forget winning. I don't want to lose. However, there have been times that I've been beaten, and I'm like, all right, I could take that.
When you get the ball up in the thing?
I could take that. No, I couldn't take that.
He was going to say that. I
couldn't take that.
That's my favorite. That's my only win. I got to take what I get.
There are people who you feel they're my level and or better than me. Like Charles Barkley, right? Dude, you like that, but you ran up against Mike. You lost. You got to take this L, right? You got there, but you faced a worthy opponent. Maybe he didn't feel like Ahab was a worthy opponent to kill him.
So kind of like if we playing 21, you or James win, I could accept that.
If Chris or Babe
win, Chris or Ja won,
yeah.
Nah, I feel like I got
you watch your mouth. If I win, I win.
I'm with you.
Nah, but that, like, no lie, when we used to play 21, if James and E won, yo, I could accept that. It's James and E. I don't, skill-wise or mentality-wise.
You're better than me. I can't accept it. I don't care who they are.
Thank you. Hey, Davon, say it one more time for those in the back. One more time.
While we're playing,
but
I've gotten stuff.
But now I understand what you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, while we're playing, James and E have been like, yo, that was a good move, Josh. Yo, that was nice. But losing to them, they've been at it way longer than I have. They have more experience, the whole nine. They've played in leagues. They've done all of that. Me, I'm still coming up. So if I lose to one of them, that's an L I could take.
No, it's not. I don't understand why you feel that way. This nigga is on FaceTime.
Okay.
I don't like black people. I just thought you should know that, yo.
I'll put it a different way.
Anyways, hey Yoshi.
Yeah,
Hey Yoshi, I'll give it to you this way.
better be a
If I get on the court with
I'm on FaceTime.
Yoshi,
My
if
lawyers
I am on a court with Bron and I lose a game of 21 to Bron, I'm gonna be
Me
upset.
too.
I hate losing.
But
okay.
But you can't accept that?
So
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I lost to Bron, but I'm upset I lost.
Upset that you lost, but you can accept it because
yeah,
of who you lost to.
that's like if the Lakers
personally-
that's like if the Lakers and the Clippers would have faced off. If we would have ended up losing to them, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I really wanted to win. Cool. But now
No,
if
it's
we
not.
play
No, it's not. You wouldn't
now
accept the loss. You would
if we
still be
play a
talking about the
team
loss
like
today.
if we would have played the Brooklyn Nets and we would have got spanked, I can't accept that. I can't. That's the loss that's gonna make me hot. Losing to the Clips, yo, Kawhi, PG, Montrezl Harrell, Vika Zubac, Pat Bev, Lou Will, Bron can't barely put the ball on the floor because you don't got no handle.
If we'd have lost to the Heat, I would have been upset.
Yeah, if we lose, if even that losing to the Heat, I couldn't. If we that one game we lost, I was hot and I did not want to accept it because I'm like, yo, we should have smacked. That should have been a 4-0. There shouldn't have even been a game 5. There shouldn't even been talks of a game 6. That should have been a yo. Let's get in and get out. Let's go home. We got stuff to do.
So that's my perspective for that one. Because of what you just said, Scrub. So maybe he didn't feel Ahab and his people were worthy enough to take his life. Y'all don't.
God was the only worthy opponent. I hear you. That's understandable.
So
see that I can accept.
So let me tell you how funny.
You good?
Let me tell you how funny God is, right? So I ultimately didn't want to start tonight just because I didn't.
That's why you was late.
No. Forget late.
Man, get your FaceTime with that question.
I didn't want to start because.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
All right. Wholeheartedly. I didn't want to start because I don't want to start every time. Right? Similar to prayer. Pop, I was glad that you went.
You don't want to accept your role?
It's not about a role. It's so that to me that has nothing to do with role. Me making the phone call for prayer, okay, if that's my role, then sure, why not? I don't think that should be. I don't think that should be, but whatever. It is what it is. Cool. But I don't feel like even if I make the call, I have to start prayer. I have to be the first one to pray every time.
I get that.
Same with this. Before
the new norm,
when we was on the phone, because we wanted to be the first one and we didn't want nobody to hit our points. Nah. I'm starting. I'll lead off today. I got it. I'm gonna open up.
You sitting there, yo, you ready? All right, Father God in the whoa. Time out.
You know I mean, we haven't been there. We haven't been back there with the new norm. You have a because. Please tell me you have a because. You look like you have a because.
Hey, I don't want to give that.
Just go with it. You gotta
go
with
it.
it.
Go ahead with your because you look like you got a because.
It's not really a because. It's not really a because.
What is it?
But
no, fight it as long as possible. Let God beat on your chest.
A lot of up until like this past 2 weeks, right? a lot of the notes have been like 1 point, 2 points. It's been like, how many times have people got on? One of us got on like, yo, I couldn't get nothing. Self-explanatory. When we was doing that in the beginning, you got to think we was in the New Testament. There's millions of stuff to pull from that because we always hitting on some of the same points because you didn't have to search for a point. So when you really don't have much, you just sit back like, all right, I'll let whoever go because I ain't really. But when you get into something like when we was in Genesis and sometimes in Numbers, we did that a few times in Numbers. Like, yo, wait, hey, slow down. So I think
Found that out the hard way.
I wholeheartly agree with you that. Oh, my bad, D. I think I was the first one to do like that. I really do think I was. Because D
Started
was
saying
saying
something. He was
something,
like,
I was
"Hey,
like,
just
hold
chill.
on.
You
And
good?
then,
Wait a minute."
yeah. And when I finished my note, he was like, Pop, that's the same thing I was going to say. And I was like, yeah, that's why I told you to chill.
I hear that. I
So
hear
not
you.
that that's an excuse, Hop.
I hear
It's
you.
not an excuse because we still should be active like that. But I think that it's just part of the problem why it hasn't.
I take that.
But yet and still, I agree with you. We all should be.
And I'm not even
Honestly,
saying
every time.
I'm not even saying eager because, like you said, with those we were eager. I don't want nobody to stomp on my points, so let me get it out there first. I take that. I'm
But
not saying
it's
eager.
still, I agree.
I'm just saying still share, whatever. Who go first?
Still
Who go
willing
first?
to,
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it.
That's why I dove in. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
I felt it.
I appreciate it. So, holding on to a point and to hear it come out
You gotta go potty.
with Scrub's question, I have a note for it. So while he was asking it, I'm like, God, you funny. To have me wait just so that I could respond to that question. Which is why, dude, I stopped going in when you was like, yo, help. Nah, because I went somewhere completely different with it. That same question, I just went somewhere else with it. So with that, my first point.
Man, got no shame. Just gonna munch away.
Got it flat?
Huh?
My first point, he's in another.
Go ahead.
You don't know what that is. You don't even know what you're saying. He's in another world. My first point is verse 1. Ahab told Jezebel everything that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. So I said negative always outweighs positive. We read how Ahab tells Jezebel everything that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. Confusing and not so. Confusing because we read everything that Elijah had done and then some. If everything was told, then how is the killing of the prophets specified? Not confusing because these were the prophets of Baal in which Jezebel was the queen. This is similar to someone hearing gossip and saying, make sure you don't leave out the juicy parts. The juicy part is not that the true God showed up and showed out when fire poured out on a sacrifice or on their sacrifice and even consumed water, which is a wow. The juicy part is not even how through Elijah's prayer and interceding, there was finally rain on the earth. The juicy part is not even how Elijah outran the chariot of Ahab to enter Jezreel. Of course not. The juicy part is Elijah killed every single one of your prophets, Jezebel. He took his sword and sliced and diced them. He stabbed them and cut off their limbs. He had them tied up so that not one of them could escape. And then he went to work on them, girl. It was extremely gory and monstrous. how he handled them in the situation. I could imagine Ahab telling a story like that, or even more intense and descriptive. Funny thing, Ahab was around and never tried to stop it. Yet, he runs and tells Jezebel immediately. We must be as excited and interested in revealing good news as we are about spilling the tea. Spilling tea seems juicy, yet it does not bear good fruit. My next point is verse 3. So in verse 3, so verse 3 says, Then Elijah became afraid and immediately ran for his life. So I put how we change up. I know the word of God informs us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. With this, and us knowing this info, we still become fearful at times. Elijah was confident and displayed confidence recently before this chapter. He witnessed God provide through his obedience, and he even witnessed God revive someone who was dead. Now, a woman by the name of Jezebel threatens Elijah's life, and that same confidence immediately disappears. If God can revive a life, he should be able to save one as well from dying. However, Elijah became afraid and ran for his life. We too suffer the same symptoms. We watch and believe God for one thing and don't believe him for other things. What, where does our trust and faith go in such a hurry? We must learn to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord instead of running when things seem scary. My next point is verse 4. And so I guess here's where I went a different route with it. Verse 4 says, But he went on a day's journey into the wilderness. He sat down under a broom tree and prayed that he might die. He said, I have had enough. Lord, take my life, for I'm no better than my fathers. Prayer doesn't always work. Many pray and pray to different gods. Some believers say prayer works and God will answer your prayer. Both of these are true. Prayer does work and God will answer your prayer. However, his answer may not always align with what you want. Some of us are parents, and at times our childhood children will ask us for something that we know is not in their best interest. We have a responsibility to love and care for them more than we love and care for their wants because we know better. Likewise, our Father in heaven cares more about our well being than he cares about our selfish wants. In his fear, Elijah asked God to let him die. God knew that he had more for Elijah to do, and dying wouldn't help. We must be mindful to tell others God still answers prayers according to his will, and prayer works best when aligned with the will of God. That last piece is essential to those who we witness to so that they won't, so that they won't go around asking for things and proclaiming us in the word false. And my last note is verse 8. So it says, So he got up, ate and drank. Then on the strength from that food, he walked 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the mountain of God. So I said, ran for his life, then walked to God. In running, he would have ran into God. Yet in walking, he had time to calm down so that he could hear from God. Slow down, calm down, so that you can hear from God. Some of us are running and or moving frantically, in which we are too busy literally to hear from God. Our mind is racing. Our mind is racing while going through this, that, and then some. Yet we are saying, God's not speaking to me. On the contrary, we are too busy minded that we can't hear him. So at times, he will have to make us move from our situation so that we can walk right into him. and that's my 19. So for me, I took it not so much on his death, but the fact that we tell people, man, God answers prayers, just pray. And so I thought about Scrub's situation um, with the young lady. And I'm like, man, if he was to tell her, if we were to tell her, if she was to hear God answers prayers, and she goes out and prays for something that's not aligned with God's will, and God doesn't answer it, then she's gonna go back and call Scrub a false, whatever, and whomever else tells her uh, that God answers prayers or prayer works or prayer changes things, that um, she's gonna call them false, and then immediately turn away from God and may never turn back. So that's where I went with it. So like I said, that's why I stopped battling, dude. But yeah, that's my 18. My bad, my 19.
I got zilch for the next chapter.
You got who? Oh.
My first point for
Wait. That's
No,
not how that works.
that's
he win.
out of the new norm.
But I'll
He
go.
Out
win.
of the new norm.
No,
Out of the new
he
norm.
didn't
He
go.
win.
Out of the new norm.
Nice try.
He went.
I don't have a lot. I don't have a
Out
lot.
of the new norm.
I don't have a lot.
He went.
Go ahead,
I
Chris.
don't have a lot.
You just
Wait.
said you don't always want to go first. You
I
just said
didn't
you don't
go
want to go
first.
first.
I didn't go first.
Did you hear anyone say anything?
Yes, Boss did.
But no, he didn't.
I don't have a lot. It's
Boss,
real quick.
Do you have a
boss,
point?
Quick.
Do you have a
boss, go
point?
over 20 again, boss.
Do you have a point?
I don't have nothing for 20.
Thank
That's
you. Go ahead,
saying
Chris.
something.
Go ahead,
My
Chris.
turn.
I'm listening.
He has to
He doesn't
go.
always want to go first.
He has
He
to
went.
go. Listen, he has
doesn't always want to go
to. He has to
It's
give
a new norm.
something
What are you doing?
for you
Hey, I'm
just to be
sorry.
able to go
Sometimes you
after
forget.
19.
You forget we
He
in a new
gave
norm.
his
We in a new
thought.
norm.
I have
We in a
nothing.
new norm. We in a
Nice
new
try.
norm. We in a new norm.
Hey, that was good. Hey,
We
what
in
am
a
I?
new
What am
norm.
I? Wait, hold
You
on.
just made a statement about going first. See, and you hungry. I want you to eat first. I don't want you to be hungry while we stay.
I'm eating
You
because
just
I can't go.
we told him eat again because it's not gonna be enough. Go ahead, Chris. He gotta get full.
Mine's quick. So
It wasn't about being full. You just said that.
Mine's quick.
It doesn't matter. Come on. Come on, Chris. We waiting, man.
I put disobedience. Verse 13, we see a prophet telling Ahab that God is going to hand over to him Ben-Hadad, essentially telling him that he'd be granted victory. But in typical king fashion, King Ahab just did what he wanted to do. Despite his great victory over the Armenian army, Ahab just continued to rule without serving God. This should not surprise us, though. Remember, Ahab was the king that married Jezebel. Not only did she hold great power, but she managed King Ahab. Much of his decisions were influenced by her. God sent these prophets to Ahab not only to give him insight, but to try to teach. Ahab refused to acknowledge that it was his own constant disobedience to God and persistent idol worship that brought the evil on his nation. And that was my 20.
Remember that thought.
Which one?
Nobody.
You said which one?
About remember that thought about she ruled him.
She ruled him? Is that what you said?
What you eating? It looked like crab. It looked like blue crab.
Are you talking about Jezebel and Ahab?
Yeah, I know.
As in your notes?
He
As in
just
your
Making
notes?
sure that's what he said.
He just said Jezebel ruled him.
Yeah,
As
that's
in your
what.
notes?
No, I just want to make sure that's what you said. She ruled him.
Yeah.
I just want to say, remember that note. Remember that thought.
Go ahead, D.
Oh, I thought I had something else. Oh, is that 21? Hold on. That may be
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Excuse me?
You said
That's
you're
21.
done.
That's 21. Never mind. That's
Go.
21. That's 21.
These go.
21.
This guy.
He mentioned Jezebel, and it's like,
She's not just in one verse. You know that?
I just had a question.
we just got answers. What's up?
question,
I
good
can't
buddy?
hear you, D.
He's not saying anything. I don't think, because I didn't get it.
Oh, I thought he was talking and breaking up.
That his disguise would work, and if he really did,
Yeah, you breaking up, man.
He said
Nah,
something
it's
about the
breaking up,
disguise.
D.
That's the only thing I heard.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's a little better right there.
Barely P.O.P.
Tell you
You're
about
talking now,
live
we can't
phones.
hear you.
Tell him to type it. Tell him to type it. Tell him to type it.
Tell you about live phones, people.
No.
They dangerous.
There you go. That sounds like him right there.
They're dangerous.
Tell him to type it.
Does up.
Hello? Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Yeah, I can hear you right there.
You can't hear me. You can hear me
Type it.
now.
Type it. Type it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Y'all, you know, you living in the freaking woods.
Sound like you're going through a tunnel now. Breaking up.
Yep, just go. I'll go afterwards.
What he said?
I can't go
Just
right
go.
now.
He'll go afterwards.
He's telling me to go because he'll go after it.
Okay, well, you eating. No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No, you can go ahead. Okay.
Oh, shoot. When I'm trying to be generous. Nah, you already passed it.
My first point in verse 20, in chapter 20 is verse 1. So my first point in verse 20 is chapter 1. Now King Ben-Hadad of Aram assembled his entire army, 32 kings, along with horses and chariots, were with him. And I put 32 kings under one king. If they are kings, what are they kings of? If it said 32 leaders,
thank you.
What?
I said I thank you.
Me?
Yeah.
You have it in your notes?
No, because I thought you was about to go away. I went because you started off, but you veered off. That's why I said thank you.
If it said 32 leaders, I would be okay. But 32 kings, I'm confused. So since you don't have that in your notes, but you have something along those lines, or you know?
No, when you said if they're kings, who are they kings of? What are they kings of? So then I thought you was about to say like,
He thought you
just
were gonna
forget
go
it.
some
Don't worry
more.
about it. Yeah, I thought you was gonna go like.
You gotta explain.
Just go ahead.
You keep with the slow talk, buddy. Keep with the slow talk. So that's a question if anybody has it in their notes. I'm gonna just go through the rest and we can talk about that question later. My next point is verses 2 through 8. And so I just said, after giving a little, they may want more. Just as it is today, enough is never really enough. When you give those,
I knew it.
I'm not even going in. I left a whole lot of room.
I knew I should have went, yo.
I'm not even going in.
You turn the game off.
God.
You turn the game off, you're gonna win.
No, I was going. First of all, Mr. Pizza in my hand. Golly, yo. Go ahead.
Scrub got out, but I promise you I left a whole lot of room.
Oh, man, you might as well wait.
I am waiting.
How long he been gone?
He just left. Well, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Like, you don't need to worry because I left you.
Thanks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks a
It was
lot.
fine.
I don't know why you're taking this as a joke.
Steelers got their first L.
No, they didn't.
Who?
Not against the Redskins. Not against the Washington team.
23-17.
No way.
against the
When did they
Washington
play?
football team. The
They
Washington
just
football
finished
team.
up.
The Steelers lost. Big Ben went down against the Redskins.
He
I
threw a
mean,
pick. He threw
well,
a
they're
pick.
not the
Washington
Redskins no
football
more,
team.
but that's crazy.
It's this
How
year.
did they lose?
It's the year. The year is just backwards.
I guess so. It is pretty bad.
It's backwards. It's backwards.
They
Things
still in good
don't
shape
work.
though. They've been tearing people
They're in
up.
good shape, but they
These
weren't
back,
supposed to lose to the Washington football team.
Touchdown.
nah, they shouldn't have lost to them.
Touchdown.
You right. It's like the Cowboys.
Y'all just scored, dude.
Not watching.
I was
My
still on.
bad.
I was still on the
my
ESPN app. I seen him when he tossed it. I seen him when he tossed it.
Oh my gosh, this dude bugging up. All
My
right.
bad. My
Yo,
bad.
come on. We
My
was on
bad, people.
pause.
My bad, people.
So verses 2 through 8, after giving a little, they may want more. Just as it is today, enough is never really enough. When you give those who you give to, when you give, those who you give to will often want more. Even us, when we receive some, we often wish we had more. My last point, see how much room I left you? Look
Oh,
at that.
good looking, dog. I like you, baby.
So much room. Look
I
at that.
like you. I like you.
My last point is just an observation. In high and low places, God our God is mighty in battle. God our God is powerful in the high and in the low places. There is no place that his people should be defeated as long as he is in the battle. And that's my chapter 20.
I like the other note. You know, if you give them a little bit, they want some more. Cause you give me a cup of that bright and early, I'm definitely gonna want another cup.
I like that.
See,
I like
but
that.
he's about to dive into it something fierce. So he probably
No, it's not even about fairs. I mean, you
he's gonna
already
dive into
was
it.
stepping.
I didn't
You
dive
know,
in.
he was doing too much.
You know how you go to the pool, you put your toes in to see
Hey,
how
for
cold
real,
it is? You about to go in the deep end.
for real, I wish everyone had that mindset when we used to go to the house and play dominoes after basketball, because
Was it
y'all
nothing?
would
Nothing
steal.
was
And I don't want to say y'all stole on record, but y'all stole. And I would offer you something to drink and you would still steal. So
I have no idea.
I
what
just
you're
wish we had
referring
this
to.
understanding then.
I'm trying
I
to figure out
know.
why I
Hey,
still
Chris,
gotta
I
make
want
my
to
own plate.
apologize because your
I've
first
been a
day in
guest
my
for
house,
years.
you
I'm
got
still
robbed.
got on a plate.
You got
I
messed
remember
up.
that day.
He got
He left. He was
You
like, "Hey, I'm
remember
going
the
to the
first day he
bathroom."
came?
What
And
was it? He left
stopped
a
at
bag of chips or something.
the
What
bag
happened?
of chips and the Gatorade. And
It
it was
wasn't
the
robbed.
first day you came to the house.
It
You
wasn't
had
a
a bag of
robbery.
chips and Gatorade after basketball when we was playing dominoes. And
Who took
everyone
it?
tore through that joint so quick.
But it
Who
wasn't a
took it?
I think
robbery.
it was Ezra. I ain't gonna lie to
He
you.
left it there to be tampered with. It's not
Nobody's
robbery.
Gatorade was safe. Nobody's orange juice was safe.
Can't be around black. That's
Glass
why
of
you can't hang around.
water,
That's why you can't hang around
Cheerios,
black folks.
chips.
You know, West Coast taught me
Nothing's safe.
switch up
You
my
got
friend
up if
pool.
you wanted to. You came back and needed another cup. But half your bag was gone.
Yo,
Once you get it, you better drink it. That's it.
Oh,
that joint
shoot.
terrible.
Clearly, you're
yo.
not
It was-
thirsty
it
enough.
was
Why you
happening.
can't have black? Why you can't have black friends?
It was
Oh,
happening,
shoot.
boy. Quick, yo. Oh, shoot.
He learned fast though.
Yeah,
Hey,
he did.
he's back. Hey, my guy.
Go ahead, D.
Hop, can I ask you a question?
Still
Yeah,
hate.
What's up,
people
man?
are.
So how do you tell Chris you think you said everyone tore up his chips and Gatorade, but you think it was Ezra? I'm confused. I don't know how everyone tore it up, but you think it was Ezra. Was it everyone or was it Ezra?
You can't
That's
leave.
why
You
it
can't
wasn't
leave and come back.
robbery.
You can't leave and come back with that question. You can't leave and come back with that question. You had to been there. You
I've
left.
been back.
My bad.
I
You
was
laughed.
here.
No one knows it. No one knows it.
I was here the whole time.
I didn't see you on a box of 4. I didn't see you.
The box of 4. Okay.
Yo. Oh, my bad, D. Oh God. Oh, D, I want you to dive in.
Huh?
He wants you to go.
Oh, so my question was, did Buddy really think his disguise would hide what's his name from realizing who he was?
It
And
worked.
if so, why?
You talking about Ahab?
Yeah.
Work.
The now I gotta go back and find what I was reading. So I read when I was reading, someone had put a disguise on
Yeah.
or covered up so he wouldn't be noticed. So my question was, after reading that, I was like, he's spoken to you before. So do you really believe the disguise would work? Like, was that you covering your face? Did you believe that would work? And if you did, why would you believe that? But that was my 20. That was my question for 20.
That's what a disguise does.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
I
So for me, I looked at it as these masks that we wear now. I cover up my face, but if I go out in the public, somebody's gonna look and be like, "Yo, that's Davon."
But why do you think it didn't work?
What it said, ain't it? Now I gotta go back and
Nah.
reread it.
He didn't finish reading.
The disguise he did what he was out to do.
Yeah, your servant was busy. He closed his head bent from his eyes, and the king of Israel recognized him. Oh, that was after.
Yeah, it was after
He moved
he
out.
set him up. Then he revealed himself
Yeah,
and
see,
he knew who he was.
when I was reading it, my head automatically went like, "Yo, you put this man has talked to you before, and you put a headband over your eyes, like that was supposed to hide something."
Imposter.
Imposter.
It's not on my
Hey,
list.
James, I hate your brother. James, I hate your brother.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, that was
So
my question for 2.
you got a whole bottle? Okay. Thirsty.
Thursday, man.
Some of us drink water.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, I drink water.
Did you not just read how this man was just given water and it
He was
sustained
given
him for
bread.
40 days? Just
He had
water.
bread
He was
too.
given
He had
bread.
bread too. He had bread too.
Nah, remember when we was reading it? It wasn't just about the water and the bread. Remember when
It was special.
So good. So good.
My bad, man. I don't know what's going on.
special.
I'm gonna go ahead and dive into
So
20.
special, yo.
What are you talking about? I just want to dive into 20. That's all I want to do.
I'm praying for you.
All right. My first point for 20 is mindful treaties. See, we got to be mindful of who we make treaties with and who we join forces with. We shouldn't be linking up with people for personal gain, but for the kingdom of God. When you link up or join in treaties with others and we're not mindful of it, we find ourselves creating more of a problem than there needs to be. So at the beginning of this chapter, we see Ben-Hadad, who is king of Syria, is gathered with his kings and chariots, and he fights against Samaria. Then he sends messengers to Ahab, who is the king of Israel. Now, what gets me is that he doesn't say, I'm coming for you, or that they must fight for power. But instead, he basically tells Ahab, your silver and gold are mine, and your wives and children are mine. The nerve of you to come to my town and tell me what is yours. The nerve of your messengers to deliver such a message and expect to make it back home. Yet the biggest nerve, yet the biggest nerve of is that Ahab answered only, as you say, my lord. Well, what happened to your fight, Ahab? Why did you just give in as if this is a familiar enemy you're already afraid of? Well, that's when I started looking and realized this Ben Hadad is no stranger. This guy is from chapter 15, whom Asa made a treaty with to break covenant with Baasha, who was king of Israel, and to join forces with him of Judah. So now I understand that not only was he a familiar foe to Israel, but they know him also as a familiar friend. Seems to me this guy should have never been considered to be a part of either Israel or Judah. You were an ally to Israel, and all it took was some silver and gold to make you change your position. Then you become an enemy, and for no other reason at all, you want to strike back up a fight just because. Reasons like these is why we got to be mindful who we make covenant with. A covenant is not merely something to be broken at your earliest convenience. Yahweh made a covenant with mankind not to destroy by water all these years ago, and we still see the promise in the skies today. Be mindful who you make covenant with. My second point is don't give an inch. There's a saying, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want a glass of milk. This saying makes so much sense and it fits so well in this passage of scripture. Ahab, afraid of the fight, decides to back down and instantly tell Benadad that he can have whatsoever he has said. So naturally, the mindset would be that I'm giving you what you have not even asked, but commanded, and so everything should be fine. However, when you give that mouse a cookie, they're always going to want more. So what we see happen is that Benadad now turns around and says, not only am I taking that which belongs to you, but I'm also going to take away that which belongs to those around you. My people are going to come and take away whatever they desire. This is why you cannot give an inch. The enemy is not only looking to take some away from you, but he wants it all. Don't think that if you give into a little, that he'll leave you alone. Don't lose sight that he's come to steal, kill, and destroy. Ahab, your response should have been to kill those messengers and assign of response to the message. Now you have to respond, this thing I cannot do, as if to say you went too far. Don't give way, not even a little bit, because you'll find yourself in deeper water than you thought you would be in. My next point is the king instructed. You know, at first thought, I felt like Ahab was trying to avoid the fight. I felt like, why do you keep asking about who and rather just replying, Lord, I'm going? I felt like Ahab, if you're going to be king, it's important to know you will have to fight and lead. Yet after reading and listening a few times, I felt a different approach to verse 14. It would be easy to just say, as a king, I'm going to respond to Yahweh's word. The prophet said they will be delivered to me, and I'm going out to see it through. Yet it is this same kind of thinking expected from man. Yet it takes a godly man to understand that I must be instructed by the king if I'm going to lead as a king. See, Ahab received the word that they would be delivered to him, but did not want to move until he was fully instructed on everything he must do in order for it to come to pass. So his first response is, by whom? Lord, I do not want to go out there trying to do what you have not called me to do. So although I'm king, I understand that victory comes by your hand and by whom you have set it for to come by. So before I do a thing, I need to know whom you saw fit to bring this victory through. Then he says, begin the battle. Who is going to begin the fight? All right, Lord, you have said it's going to be by this one, but who's starting this thing off? I want to be step by step in tune with your plan. This is the way to ensure that you are victorious in everything you do. We are all, we are all done. We are all king. What? We are all done kings, for he is king of kings. Therefore, as kings, we got to make sure we are fully instructed by the king before we act. And my last point is learn his voice. You know, it's one thing for me to be in trouble because I chose to ignore Yahweh's communication to me. I mean, if he is talking to me and I choose to not listen, then I have chosen the consequence of neglect. However, it's a little different when I have to know his voice coming from the mouth of man. See, man will talk in many a different ways, and sometimes more than we care to count. Man will say it's from God when in reality it's not at all. So sometimes when man speaks, it's simply a matter of ignoring or going about my day. After all, it's just another man talking. However, when God speaks through him, now it's different because I have to know and discern his voice from the man's voice. See, this man was a son of the prophets, and what he's asking seems far beyond what God would command. So it would seem normal to deny the request. However, when it comes down to Yahweh, we cannot go off of what we deem as normal and still not easy to do. I think to myself, had some guy and even a prophet tell me to strike him, I would be inclined to say no. You've done me no harm, and then walk away feeling fine. However, this man for doing so was killed by a lion. However, if I seen the man and yet heard Yahweh's voice, then I would have to act accordingly. Now, this was in regards to striking, but what if it was something else we deem abnormal or crazy to do? We would have to know that we know his voice this way, whatever comes after, we know he's got us. It's imperative to learn his voice and draw all the closer to him, lest we be led astray and lead ourselves to destruction. That's my 20.
That gives it. Silence once again. All right. So I have a point for 21, and it's rather simple. I just put Cersei from Game of Thrones, and when I read what Jezebel did, that's really like just how I felt about it. Like uh,
The
the
sister.
chick, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So Ahab goes, yo, let me get your land. Nah, but I'm not giving that up. This is what was left to me from my inheritance. He go back. Yo, what's wrong? Babe, why you look like that? Nah, I want Buddy's vineyard. I told him I'll give him whatever he want. He told me no.
Crazy.
Okay. Don't worry about it. You the king. Go eat, drink, be merry. I'll get the land from him. Hey yo, all y'all set him up. Sit him at the table, get two just scoundrel people, sit them at the other side of the table, shoot accusations at him, make sure everybody's there, kill him. And then it happens. I was like, yo, that's a real Cersei move. Like, this is what I want. This is what I want, or this is what he wants. So I'm gonna get it regardless. No matter what I gotta do to get it, whether I gotta sneak get it, whether I gotta catch a body to get it. It doesn't matter. I'm getting what I want. So that was my point. I just was like, yo, that's a real Cersei type move.
I put in my notes, I call it the Adam effect.
You put in your notes what?
I put in my notes, but I call it the Adam effect.
The Adam, man, you're going last.
I didn't even dive in super hard. Just a little
Lady
bit.
D, you want to go?
So
Well, that's fine.
I don't
I
get a
didn't
nod. I don't. You don't. You went straight.
You were so silent. I didn't even think you wanted to go.
Okay, copy. He was silent too, but you asked him.
Huh?
He was silent too, but you
I
asked.
didn't know if he was breaking up again. So I just wanted to make sure.
I like that. Way to be quick on your feet, Bucko. Yeah.
My grandmama daughter ain't raising no sucker.
I just put this reminds me of what we read in Numbers, which basically said if your wife does something and you don't stop her or you don't do anything about what she does and you accept it, then you are just. That's what I got for 21.
Wait, what?
Hey, that was good, D. I didn't even think about that when I read it.
Me neither.
You said what, Chris?
Way to point to
You
it.
broke up the last little bit. I couldn't hear.
You knew what she was talking about. He was chewing.
You eating pudding?
Eating ice cream, man. This man's he got tapeworm in his stomach, man. This man
Hey,
ain't stopped
Chris,
eating since we got on.
I can't have no dessert. I can't have no dessert.
You
That's
ain't
gotta
crazy.
stopped
try
Chris,
eating
why,
yet.
Chris, why are you chewing
Taco.
ice cream? I'm confused. Why are you chewing ice cream?
Cause he is not melted.
It got hot. It
Got
got
steak
chips.
bites in it.
Yeah, I play too much.
Yo,
I play too much.
it's been
Is
the
that
same
chocolate
person
chip?
all night. I don't know what
Chocolate
you
chip.
mean, y'all. He's been in another world. He
Oh
hasn't stopped
shoot!
playing yet. So I don't know what you mean, y'all.
What?
Oh,
What?
He
Between
can't
my
say nothing.
uncle, my two cousins, and Chris.
What we doing? Who's
Oh
gone?
shoot! That hurt so bad.
Y'all getting
Y'all
off track
played too
again.
much.
Y'all
Yeah,
getting off
hey
track.
Chris, what a way to get us back on point as he swallows a spoon of ice
Meow.
We fasting today? I don't know something about it. What's going on?
It's not about fasting. You haven't stopped eating yet. You done ate 4 slices of pizza.
Dang, you count out here?
Hey,
Dang.
my God. I was wondering if you ordered a
That-
whole pie or just a half a pie. Or
That
what.
means you were so accurate with 4 slices.
Yo, he done going back and forth. I mean, this man ain't stopped yet.
That's crazy. I can't eat no dessert. That's crazy.
I mean, you can do what you want to do. I'm just
You
concerned.
eat your steak
Yeah,
bites.
23
Don't you let nobody stop you.
Wow.
So you got steak bites in your ice cream. Yeah, that's tough, yo.
I already ate mine. Oh, be right back.
Stop it.
This nigga said, "Be right back." He's about to come back with
You
food.
gonna get-
You see what I started?
Yo, come on. We in 21.
Okay, I'm gonna go now. Actually, I can't
Just
go
wanted
now.
to go.
But I have a question. So, but it's not in my notes. It was just
Oh.
something I thought about. So I'll
This
go
man
last.
say you can't go next. Got
You
questions, not in his notes, so you can't go.
I don't know. First he added notes.
I understand why you can't
Nah,
go.
I'm not adding a note. So remember, I'll go next. That's fine. Notify this situation. Yeah.
Don't let Chris make you feel like you got to go next, huh?
I'm gonna go next, and then I'll ask my question when we're done. I only
That's
have
crazy.
I have one in
That's
the
crazy.
possible,
Don't let
so
Chris
it's
do it.
okay.
I knew you couldn't play no
Niggas
dang
play
spades.
Don't say the
spades.
possible.
Don't ever play on my team again.
One in the possible. This
Stick
man
to
got two.
dominoes.
This man got 2 ice pops. Y'all are tough tonight.
That's my name.
So my first point.
You gotta wait for Yoshi. Yoshi's not back. Yoshi's not
Yoshi
back.
is back. He has 3
His phone's off.
popsicles.
Got one.
Nigga has 3 popsicles.
So my
Said
first
3
point.
pops.
My first point is verse 3. It says, "But Naboth said to Ahab, I will never give my father's inheritance to you." God said, priceless value is to be held onto. Don't give away something that holds a personal value, especially if the item or items once belonged to someone extremely important to you. We ought to value the word of God this way. We ought to value his instructions, just like how David said or wrote in Psalms 119:11. Thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee. Many of us value some of his instructions, but not all of them. Just like Naboth, we should tell others who might wish for us to stray from the faith that we will not give up or let go of our Father's word for any amount. And then my last point is verse 19. Tell him, this is what the Lord says. Have you murdered and also taken possession? Then tell him, this is what the Lord says. In the place where the dogs licked up Naboth's bloods, the dogs will also lick up your blood. And so I just put a life for a life. A, do whatever.
Hey,
I got a
Hey,
question at the end.
Hey,
But
hey,
somebody touch it.
let me tell you something, yo.
my pizza girl,
My pizza
like that,
girl.
like
Hey, that
pita,
is so big.
So,
Pause.
pita.
Yo, I was gonna write about, and I just somebody's gonna be in it, yo.
I got a question at the
I
end.
ain't
I'd like to
going
send
to.
one of y'all notes.
I'm
Huh?
done. So it can't
That's,
be in my notes.
do you got any other point? You don't got.
I'm done.
My turn.
I said I got one in the
No,
possible.
I was talking to dude.
Oh, I already gave my point.
Is
I have
that
a
your
question.
21? Just a question?
Yeah, I gave mine already. I just have a question. Like,
No, is it a part?
oh,
He gave his.
Did you just thought of it? I
no,
know he
I thought
meant it, but was it
I
something
thought
he
of it
forgot to
before.
ask, or did he just think of it?
I thought of it before, but I forgot to write it in my notes. So
Chris, you want to go?
He's stuffing his steak bites in ice cream
I'll go.
into his
I'll
throat.
go so you can eat your steak bites. Oh, my first point in 21.
So much, all of y'all, yo.
What
Why
happened?
you keep saying all? I don't know
I
why
don't
you
know.
keep
Yeah, me
saying
neither. I'm
all. I don't
confused
know
to
why
why
you
we
say
all keep
y'all.
getting put in this box.
I don't know what I did. I don't even know what I did. I'm eating a popsicle.
Where's all and
Especially
where's
since I
y'all?
did nothing.
I just finished
I
my
don't
point. I
understand
don't think
why.
they were playing in my point, so I don't,
I don't understand why y'all. That's my only confusion. Okay, all of them. I'm with you, D. I think all of them do play.
Man, clap.
Thank you. That's I need that. I haven't got a lot of claps in my life anyway, so I take what I can get. My first point for 21 is thou shalt not covet. Now I get it, a commandment. Many say and use scripture to point that we are not under the law, and I agree. Yeah, we must understand what Christ said.
You don't play out. I'm confused.
First of all, the 35-second delay really just tore me in a new way. I'm so confused at what just happened.
He need to restart his phone.
He nigga say he need to restart his phone.
Hard reset.
His phone and restart. He's sitting right there.
He's frozen.
I just can't see him.
He's frozen.
Oh, that's why I don't see none.
Right now,
Is he frozen or is he closing out? What's he doing?
Go.
I
That's
think
me
he's
on right
frozen.
I don't know. His name is there.
He's closing out.
Do you want to build a snowman?
There you go.
Hey, you back? You done building a snowman?
Yoshi, I hope you fall off your bed and choke on a popsicle.
Oh my god.
So
violent.
Fall off the bed, choke on a popsicle.
So violent. What that happens for real? Crazy.
Oh shoot! I don't know what I did to deserve that one, but I love you too.
All right, Hop.
Oh,
This man
all
alive.
right. Nah, Lala. I was waiting for D to say. I didn't hear what he said.
You probably don't remember.
All right. Thou shalt not covet. Now I get it. A commandment. Many say and use scripture to point that we are not under the law, and I agree. Yet we must understand what Christ said as well, lest we take things out of context and live with the wrong image in mind. See, the law came by Moses, and grace and truth by Yeshua. So we say grace because the law is no more. Because who can live under the law and survive? Not to mention the name above every name came and offered grace. Now we even see Paul told us that we are no longer under the law as well. So looking back, the Mosaic law brought those to faith and being justified. The law was given as a standard on how to live to maintain closeness with Yahweh. Living outside that law brought punishment and curse upon that individual. Now, as many point to, Christ came and we are not under the law. Well, what did Christ say?
I have come not to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. So the law of Yeshua fulfilled the law of Moses and brought us unto grace. This was all intended to correct the mindset and actions, to correct the mindset that actions, as in following the law, was what brought salvation, while all the while it was actually faith still. So when Christ came, he corrected that by living the complete standard, being born under the law, fully complete in the law, in life and in death, and then raising to bring us unto grace. So now grace says you will love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. This is to be, huh? This is to be consumed by God and his word. Understand God desires to glorify himself through our good works, which further illuminates that good works follow salvation and do not precede it, which explains why we no longer live under the law, but yet and still don't live life however we so desire. You cannot love one you do not know, and so we get to know him by studying his word, and his word tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves and love him with everything in us. All the commandments hang on these two. All this to help understand, yes, a commandment as my original point. This entire chapter began with covetousness, and the actions went forth from it. Naboth had a vineyard, and Ahab seen it and wanted it. He pouted like a baby and wanted to be seen. Mind you, he was king. If you liked what you seen that much, you could have had someone make you something to resemble that of his. Instead, you chose to take what was not yours because it looked great. Yes, it's a commandment, but the understanding behind its giving is still relevant and true today. Look at the amount of crime committed from just this commandment. People looking at others and seeing what they have and wanting what they have, which develops the mindset to get it by any means necessary. Thou shalt not covet, for in doing so you open you up to sin and unrighteousness. My second point is it continues. Honestly, I was going to dive all the way into the fact that the same issue continues to flow. Man taking a step back while woman continues to lead and charge. Or better yet, and more likely, man not stepping at all into his God given role, while woman steps into the role God placed to man, and man never doing his part. Ahab sat back and let his wife spearhead the plan of getting what was not his. Yet, since we have been discussing this continuously, I'll just state it continues. And my last point is mercy doesn't erase punishment. I couldn't help but notice how Ahab responds to Elijah declaring the word of the Lord. He felt completely ashamed and began to mourn, and so God has compassion and shows mercy. This is the part many believers and those who view God tend to think he stops at. Don't get me wrong, this is amazing. God was ready to release his wrath on Ahab, and because he humbled himself, God chose not to. I mean, just powerful to the fact that your humbleness can change certain events. Everyone loves this because it shows even if I'm living wickedly, if I humble myself, I will evade punishment. Yet a question to ask oneself, would I be fine with missing devastation while my son reaps it? Not at all. See, too often we think grace comes with a price that's free from punishment, and that's not the case. God said, I won't bring disaster in his days, but on the days later of his son. My grace has been given, all the while punishment still delivered. We got to stop blaming God for the things we've caused ourselves. Someone today would look and say, how could God punish my son and hurt or take my son from me? Never taking time to think about what he allowed me to be free from when I was living however I so desired and against him. Those whom he loves, he chastises, and therefore punishment is delivered. God is all forgiving, but skating by freely is not in the books for us. Yes, there's grace, but that doesn't just eliminate the punishment we reaped on ourselves. And that's 21.
All right. Go ahead and dabble. So 21, I put God's wrath and mercy. Chapter 21 is a perfect example of God's wrath and his love. Verse 29 says, do you see how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he had done this, I will not do what I promised during his lifetime. I will happen to his sons. I will destroy his dynasty. You see, God's mercy continues to endure, and although it would be done to Ahab's sons, it's a perfect example or a perfect display of God's love and mercy, that it would not allow it to happen during his lifetime. But we also see God's wrath is displayed, especially when you lead others into sin. If you recall from chapter 16, the word says Ahab did what was evil in the Lord's sight more than any other king before him. And this was yet another perfect example. We once again see the Adam effect. Ahab pouted and literally, as the word says, put himself in timeout by facing the wall and refused to eat. It was only through the evil and deceit of his wife Jezebel that Naboth's blood fell on his hands. This was a perfect example of how God can move into our lives. His mercy endures forever, but we must mindfully remember that the wages of sin is death. And that's my 21.
Oh, you have a question?
I guess it's been answered. I was going because my question was as far as Ahab, like whether it was because for me, him putting the sackcloth and ashes on and the whole nine was because oh shoot, I'm gonna die now. Lord, please rip the garment, sackcloth and ashes. I'm sorry, I apologize. Cool. But you knew this happened. So I was like, oh shoot, now I'm in trouble. I gotta get right. So a part of me felt like, did he really mean it? And that's why God was like, all right, I'm not gonna let it happen to him. I'm just like, I'm gonna bring it upon his children. Or was he actually like, did he really mean it? And like,
I had that same
you know,
thought,
so
but
that's
I
why I said
took
after
the
you and James and y'all was saying grace, I was like,
I took the benefit of the doubt route and just believe what Scripture says.
So I'll go with
I would say this though, real quick. I would say it was. So I've never studied First Kings, but so it was interesting. Like I was imagining what the end of the chapter would be, and I was surprised the way it ended. So I would say I was very surprised that God said all those things, and then at the end he just repented, and then God was like, "All right, hold up." So I was surprised at the end. I was like, "Oh, didn't see that coming."
yeah,
so
like I didn't see that one.
for me, um, I I believe honestly, I believe both. I believe the thought of, oh, I'm about to die. Shoot, let me, right? But I also believe his because his wife did it. It wasn't like he plotted to get Naboth's vineyard, right? Yes, he wanted Naboth's vineyard. Yes, he went back and whined and pouted and hit himself in the corner, all of the above. Oh, I don't want to eat. I'm starve myself because I can't get what I want. Oh my God. You know what I mean? I got that. But even as the king, he didn't just say, yo, dude, that's mine. Like, I'm the king. Come up off that. And let that be that. You're gonna take what I give you. Now, I gave you two options. They options, but you don't have the option of whether you give me what I want. I'm the king, so you're gonna give me what I want. You just have the option of what you receive in return. That's it. So for me, it was like I said, he I don't want to use the word remorseful. Um, the fear of dying was, oh shoot, let me get myself together before I go, or see if he actually holds back and doesn't take me right now. But I also feel, like I said, it wasn't his doing to. I know he didn't stop and stand in her way when she told him, you go to sleep, I'm gonna handle this. He didn't ask her, what are you gonna do to handle this? So
Yeah, like, and that's why for me, I was like, you know what type of wife, like, we know what type of wives we got. Ahab, you know what type of wife you got.
So I'm about to go there in a second. You keep that thought too. Dude, I hope you remember what you said. Anybody else want to respond to this question? So I can go ahead with my question. Well, before I go with my question, I'll say it that way.
I mean, I just didn't look at it that way. I didn't look at it was he wasn't fake. I mean, and in all actuality, that still continues today. Look at 9/11 and how many people came to know Christ after tragic.
Yeah.
You know, look at Josh's statement: affection or confliction. I mean, it sometimes that's what it takes. Doesn't mean it's fake. It just means you wasn't gonna move on your own.
Okay.
So I didn't look at it that way.
True.
Rob, thoughts?
Um, honestly,
He's not allowed to talk
didn't
anymore.
even like it didn't come across my mind that didn't come across my mind. I
Okay.
can't talk no more.
Why is that doing that to you, D?
Because he's in his internet is not strong wherever he's at. No, that's really
No,
what it
I'm
is.
just saying because any other time we on, you know, you can hear him perfectly fine.
But he's not in the house. Normally he's in the house.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I don't know where he's at because I don't want to know. I just want him to be safe. That's all I care about.
Care about your safety. Care about your safety.
So here's my question. So dude said the queen ruled the king, which is backwards. The queen ruled the king. Boss said, you know your wife. Female woman was created from man. However, okay, my bad. Woman was created from man. Through time, woman.
What's your question?
Through the Bible, we haven't read where she was in control. She was the ruler, she was the leader. Not that I can recall at the moment. My question is this: in the midst of us trying to make her feel equal, special, so forth and so on, why do you believe she still feels like I have to have control today?
I don't understand the question.
You don't? Why not?
Nah,
Don't go any deeper.
this is a
Kita's right
marriage thing.
behind you.
She's not right behind me.
He looked back. Hey, Davon, he looked back though. He was like, hey.
So, but I've had, in a sense, I've had that conversation with her though.
I'm not a qualified. Me and Davon can leave. We're not qualified for this.
First of all, we have been closed out, so no, you're not qualified to leave. One,
I
two.
got more steak bites.
Two. Okay, you may not have a wife, but you had a friend. You had a female at one point. In the
Yeah, you
process,
did, Chris.
you did your
Those
part.
exes are in the past.
But you did your part to make her feel special, equal, like she matters, so forth and so on. Still, she wanted power. I'll say it that way. She wanted some type of rule. Why?
Let the married man answer first.
Yeah, who answers first? I just don't want you to feel like I can't answer this because I'm not married. To me, it's not a marriage
Sounds like a
question.
marriage question. James, come on, please go ahead. Answer.
Before
What?
before becoming my wife, she still wants power. Before Haida became a wife, she still wanted power. Before Tanish became his wife, she still wanted
My
power.
friend don't want power. My friend don't want power.
Yeah, you say that now.
Don't want power. Don't want power. She know what time it is. Hey, you know what time it is.
Copy, cool. Got you.
Dame Dollar.
Got you, Dame Dollar. I
Hey,
got you.
you look good saying all that when she's not there, baby. I tell you that.
Oh, but when she there?
Just being honest.
All
Hey,
black and white,
Yoshi.
baby.
I'm being
I could be
wild.
honest
Cuzzo.
too when I'm by myself.
She in the living room. I'm in the room.
Hey, Hop.
Yo.
Before you answer the question, where's your wife at? Just a question.
Please.
Nah,
She sleep. Oh, okay, that's all we needed.
hold it.
Go ahead, you can
No,
answer
she
now.
ain't sleep.
Oh,
She watching her phone.
oh.
Same thing.
But you have your thing in?
Yeah, and it's nothing that we don't we haven't discussed. You know what I mean?
So that's what I said. Like, it's not gonna be news for Akita if she was
Yeah.
here. For me.
I mean, I don't
You
know,
wake up
man.
your
I
crib.
think it's kind of like an easy way, but
So,
I've never, I have yet to have this.
Why they still want this
Thank you,
like
Josh.
power today?
yeah, so all right. So is it I still feel inferior? I feel inferior. I guess that's the same. Believe.
Yeah, I mean,
Inferior.
she
feel inferior.
I feel inferior. I believe I'm inferior, or I don't feel you're equal.
I feel there's another one. Well, it would mix with the first two.
What
Because
is that?
I think it's a mixture of I don't.
I don't want to be
Unfortunately,
ruled.
not that. I guess because over time it's just been. I guess this is a woman's place. This is what a woman does. This like almost like this is your little confined bubble. You cook, you clean, you give it up.
Hey.
Okay, boo. Like this is your bubble. But it's like we can do more than that. We should be valued more than that. We should be able to showcase that. So it's not that
I'm not what I've.
Yeah, it's not what over the years what's been said of us or what we've been, I guess, quote unquote, portrayed to be, or in the olden days, what the role that we was stuck to. Because I want power, so I guess to show that I'm not inferior, or I don't want to feel inferior. Which will go with I don't feel like I'm your equal. I guess. Not saying that that's it, but just I guess my thoughts. Yeah.
I don't really understand the question.
I got you. Hold on. For real. What's the matter? Okay. So, all right. You just have to listen to the question. All right.
Hey, Keita.
This is gonna be good because she in funky mode. Like,
Hey, I see you got your blanket behind you. That's
I
somebody
don't want to
move.
be a part. I don't want to be a part.
my blanket stay down here because if it's cold, this is where I'll be. Why would I want to go get a
Hey,
blanket?
hey,
I don't
hey,
Hey,
hey.
Ezra,
What
I'm
I'm saying is
full.
I don't want to be a part
This
of
is
it.
called a throw blanket. This is not my bed blanket.
Okay, whatever.
Uncle,
What's up, sir?
uh, before you ask the question, can you wait till she gets in the living room? I don't feel
That
comfortable
was
for you.
bad.
You want
Do
me to be
something.
safe? I want you to be safe. So
She ain't
ask
gonna
when
throw
she comes
nothing
in
at
the
me.
living room. Listen, I don't. It's not that she's gonna throw something at you, but if she does happen to come into the living room after you ask the question with a pan, I can't save you, and I don't think Bella's gonna get there fast enough.
Nah, Bell asleep somewhere.
She right here. She right here. Lovely. You gonna answer it? All right. So the question we have is this:
Oh, he just wanted to start out. He just wanted.
Why not
I,
get?
I'm talking to myself. Speaking out
So
loud.
since you can't answer, supposedly,
I don't understand the question.
why not?
And man said, I'm
Chris said he
talking to
pleaded fifth.
myself out loud. I'm talking to yourself out.
So Jezebel was a queen or she was a nobody? Dude, was Jezebel a queen or was she nobody?
I guess she was a queen.
You guessed she was a queen. Did you read?
What is going
Who
on?
did that read?
Did you read?
Yo,
So
I don't.
we're in Kings, right? And in Kings, Jezebel was a queen. Her husband was a king. He saw somebody's farm, vineyard, and said, "Oh, I like that. Hey, listen, man, you give me that, and I'll give you something in return for it." But he said, "No, this is my father's vineyard. I'm not giving it up to you." King went home, cried, whined, pouted. His wife said, "Hey, listen, just go to sleep. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it for you." She went and had Buddy killed. My question is, why do women still feel the need for power, even though their their partner, tries to give them or tries to make them feel equal, tries to make them feel special, important, so forth and so on? Do they feel inferior? Do they believe that they're inferior? Do they believe that they're not equal? Or do they believe that they are not what society has told them you belong in this bubble where you are to cook, clean, cook. You're supposed to cook, clean, and give it up, blah, 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 blah,
So
and
y'all
take
got
care of the kids.
She gotta come to the camera so I can hear.
So now they want to hear
Dude, this
you.
camera,
I
yo.
know you can't come to the camera, but you can stand close enough where they can hear you.
See, I don't feel like that last part though is.
Why do they want power, whether control or not? Why do they want to feel like I have to have power? I'm not good enough if I don't have power. So can you come over here? They can't hear you. All you gotta do is come right here and stand. Thank you. I'm not asking for a whole lot.
That man finna get a pan to the head, bucko.
They can't hear you right there.
Yo, does she got gloves? Does she got gloves?
She don't want this work. She does not want this work.
I don't think.
Can y'all hear her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't think it has anything to do with power. I think that men probably look at a woman's. What's the word I want to use? Our behavior is misunderstood. Let me say that. Our behavior is misunderstood. And when we stand up and have a voice, it looks like we are trying to have power and control. But that's not it. That's not it at all.
So you just being what? I'm just asking. What is your response? Because you said we misunderstand you. We as men misunderstand our female partner just standing up for herself. So all you're doing is just standing up for yourself. It's not that you want power. You just want to stand up for yourself.
It's not that we want power. It's just that, you know, maybe it has something to do with, you know, even I guess in the Bible has talks about wives to submit to their husband, and the wives they, you know, what they listen. I just think that when a woman stands up, take a position, it is misunderstood as that woman wants control. When it's not necessarily the case. I guess maybe people are so accustomed to women being silent and being quiet and letting the man do, you know, make all the decisions.
So that falls in line with what you were saying, boss. And that I don't want to be placed in this box that society has placed me in. I don't belong in this box. I'm free to. Thank you, lovely. See, that wasn't that difficult. Yeah, good night to you too. Don't want this work at all. Don't want this work at all.
He waited till she went upstairs. That's all.
She heard me.
I ain't mad.
She heard me.
He waited.
I ain't mad at you, dog.
He waited a little bit.
She walked around. She didn't just go
bit.
straight. She walked around, so she heard me. Ha. Tell Hyde I have a question for her. Or ask her the same question.
Ezra said he got a question for you about our Bible study.
Do I need to get her?
Go ahead.
He got a question for you about our. What?
Yeah, I don't even know how to get it back on damn speaker now.
So just tell her what it is, though, because we can hear her.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you tap on the screen. It's the top left, hot.
Told you
Yeah,
that.
I just figured that out, yo, because I keep my AirPod in.
That live phone, boy, I swear, that thing's dangerous.
You're right, because we got AirPods that let you wirelessly listen.
In the camera.
Hey,
unlike your
Android. I have a bud too. It don't matter.
The bud.
No, it's not.
See what they call them? A bud.
You got a bud. They're gonna lock you up for your headphones.
Okay. Copy.
Yoshi.
I'm not paying attention to him.
I hate your brother.
I'm not paying attention. He's been in rare form all night.
We got Apple.
He's tired. He's tired.
This thing said we got Apple. Y'all got
This is a result. This is a result of someone being tired. That's what it is. Hydra. My bad, Mrs. Mims. I know you're not into my world right now. I get it, but I just have a question for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Nisha's
All
here
right.
too. So
yeah, she's tired too. So this is really gonna be good. Females. Why do they want power? My bad. Why do you believe females want more power? Even after their male partner does his best to make her feel equal, important, special, so forth and so on, why do you feel she feels it necessary, in John's opinion, to have more power? Is it because she feels inferior? Because she believes or knows she's inferior in her mind? Is it because she doesn't want to be placed in a box that society has placed her in? Or I forgot the last one.
Equal.
Because she wants to feel more equal. Because she doesn't believe she's equal. Why are you laughing? I asked you a question and your response is to laugh at me.
um,
I know you try. You're tired. Truth, please. Thank you.
I guess sometimes so you're
Sometimes so.
not in a so you don't feel like you're in a box. Like you want to feel equal. You don't want to feel like somebody's higher than you. So, you don't want to be put in a certain box. Like somebody can do this and you can't. If that makes sense.
Copy. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Nish,
Right now.
like right now.
Ask them like, babe, they can hear you.
Oh, are you talking about now or like
women
back
now
then?
or
Like women right now, like Tanisha Mims. Why does Tanisha Mims feels like she has to have more power?
Tell them don't use your government. Tell them don't use your government.
What did he say?
he said, tell them don't use your government. Tell them don't use your government.
Yo,
What is wrong with him
make
today?
sure you get some rest, my guy.
Baby. Well, about my hey Chris, tell him we miss the naps, man. We always get ready.
You
Make
stop.
sure you get some rest, yo. This dude's tired.
Should have had me some steak bites.
I just turned it off because the air was on.
Dying in here.
Yo, Hop is rare form. Hey, Hop.
Come
Rare.
on, man. We need answer. Hop, what are you doing over there, man? We waiting on the answer. You laughing.
What am I doing? You talk about steak bites. What am I doing?
Come on.
Oh, okay. Let's just disregard. Cool. To this, let's go, man.
What is going on with you?
So for you, like,
Thank you.
Do
It's
you
not
feel
y'all.
that way?
It's just one person.
It's just John.
James, mute yourself.
I almost kicked both of y'all off this damn thing. I log hack everything. Don't nobody tell me to mute myself.
Oh,
You're out of control tonight.
he is.
This is us every night.
No, it's not us. This is them. This is them. It's
Thank
not
you.
us.
Tell him,
Don't say
Davon.
us.
It's them. Thank you, Davon. Tell him.
It's not them. It's
Who
not
said that?
them at all.
Because Chris finished his damn buffet after Thanksgiving.
Chris had like 4 slices of pizza and ice cream. Good. So, your answer.
Okay. I personally don't feel that way. However, now,
Give a thumbs up.
I would say society has made it okay, or yeah, they've made it okay for women to be on the front line or to be in some type of power. Versus back then, our role was strictly being at home, taking care of home. Like that was just our job, being in the kitchen. Versus now, it's like we don't want to just sit at home all day.
So would you say it's not more so that as far as inferiorism or that you don't feel that they don't feel equal, but it's more so of we were so used to being stuck in this box and then now seeing women have some type of power. It's like, okay, I want. Okay. You got it.
Okay.
How bad?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would say now
Wait a minute. You just said you are not in that role.
I'm not. But he cut me off. I was talking.
That's okay. My bad. You got it, man. Hey, thumbs up. Don't shoot, baby. We got it.
So, since you put it that way,
wow.
I think it's
Now we're hostile.
We're going all the way in.
No.
She got issues.
I think it's more of
so hot.
I just turned the heat off.
Yeah.
He's the amphibian.
Yeah, I'm just changing shirts.
I just turned the heat off.
Yeah, amphibian. That bloodline. They got amphibian bloodline.
Why Oh, he said N. I thought you put an S on it. I thought you put an S on it.
They got
You did.
amphibian
You said
bloodline.
amphibians. You talking about both of us.
I said they have amphibian bloodline. That's all.
I thought you said they. That's okay, because we got a headbutt coming through the mail. Right to the center of your damn skull.
That was it?
Yeah.
You good?
Oh.
Punch you in the back of your head.
So for me, like I said, fellas, I didn't write it, but that was a thought that came into my head, is that from what we've studied since Genesis, we just continue to see, and someone already said it, I don't know if it was Hop or someone else, that it's a continued pattern with women wanting to step up. Whether the male steps back or just doesn't continue to step in front of her, it allows her to run amok and do things that are not in line. But for me, okay, that happened back then, and I'll go ahead with that. The three of us who are married are willing to say, man, I will gladly headbutt you. I mean, I just said, you don't want this word. Yosh just said, I'm gonna punch you in the back of your skull or whatever. And for me, that stems because you want to stand up. You don't want to just, for lack of better words, fall in line. But we still try to make you feel important. We still try to make you feel equal. We try to big you up. We try to empower you. But that's not enough. You still want to put on big boy pants and stomp with the big dogs. You know what I mean? And it's like, for what? What's the point? So for this guy over here who feels like, well, I'm not in that. Okay, cool. Copy. She doesn't feel like she wants to be powered. You see how quickly Tanisha just changed? Oh, I don't fall into that category. That's not me. But other women, and as soon as Yo said a word, well, wait a minute. So that quickly.
Yeah. I was scared for
him. So you feel like that right now. That sounds all well and good, sir. Keep it up, please.
I'll smack her dead on her forehead.
Please keep
she
it
must
up.
have left.
And then as soon as
to her face, your forehead.
As soon as you put that ring on, that night may be good. That weekend may be great, but then after that, reality sets in, and oh my gosh.
The wedding ring, the long
Once the honeymoon is over, nigga, life is back to normal. You understand me?
Why didn't I see this party before?
God.
Shut up. What?
So, like I said, that was just a thought. I didn't write it down, but that was a question I had. What is it about it? And those are the things that came to my mind: inferior and unequal. I didn't think of the box. So good one, Yosh. Boss. I did not think of the box, but oddly enough, all three of them said it. So. Anyway, Lord and Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this session, God, for even the three women who were willing to chime in and give their personal perspective that flowed with our question or the question at hand. God, we thank you for your insight that you're continuing to pour out upon us, not only for us individually, but for us collectively as a body, as a group, as a brotherhood, as a band, as a bond. Lord, as we continue to go to our prospective places of work and areas that we reside in and maneuver around. Those in and out of our circle, God, continue to pour out unto them through us. Continue to overflow our cups that they may reap the benefit of your glory, your power, your sustaining many blessings. As we continue to go forth, continue to strengthen us, continue to protect and cover our households and those in it. Continue to protect and cover our loved ones near and far. Continue to strengthen us as we continue to read and dive into your word as we study throughout this week. And continue to bless us in your word. Continue to nourish us. Continue to just guide us in Jesus' name.
Man.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
There's only one more, 22, but then Second Kings is up. So 22, 1, 2.
22 and 2. Ah, ah.